People aren't buying at CNN, you dumb bastards. They're not buying it.
Once in your shoes, I said I was down and out with the blues. I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so tired. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man, take a walk up the street. It's a place there called the YMCA.
A Decatur police officer has a new start date. Mac Marquette will be in court starting November 17th in Morgan County. Marquette is being charged in the shooting death of Stephen Perkins back in 2023. Marquette is claiming that he acted in self-defense in this case. His attorneys invoked police immunity to have the case dismissed, but that was denied by Circuit Court Judge Charles Elliott. The one suspect who has been extradited to Huntsville for the disappearance of realtor Ronald Dumas Jr. has waived her right to a preliminary hearing in court. 28-year-old Kiera Clark was brought to Alabama from Memphis, Tennessee. She is one of 5 suspects charged in the abduction and disappearance of Dumas Jr. back in December of 2024. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 158636-8, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Yourself in a democracy.
This is a Trump country. We live in the southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. So far, a lovely day out of Montgomery, Alabama. Now, I'll tell you what, folks. Alabama just can't let Auburn have its moment. They really can't. Of course, the news broke yesterday. Was officially confirmed by the athletic director there at Auburn University that Auburn will now claim 9 national titles when it comes to football. It'll be displayed on for everybody to see there in the stadium. But Alabama just couldn't. They couldn't. The University of Alabama, and of course Tuscaloosa, being where the university is, they couldn't let Auburn just take the news cycle. They had to take the accolades. Tuscaloosa is now ranked the 2nd most dangerous college town in America. Joining me to talk about this and much more, we have Jeff Poor, editor-in-chief at 1819 News and host of the Jeff Poor Show. Jeff, how you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
They couldn't just let Auburn have a moment in the sun. Like, second most dangerous college town in America. That's nothing to be bragging about.
No. Well, I don't know the metric there, but I mean, Tuscaloosa could do better, right? But I'm surprised 1819 News is our top story this morning.
Yeah, I think it caught folks' attention and reading. It's Wasatch defense lawyers, Gainesville, I believe, ended up being the most dangerous. But they said Tuscaloosa ranks second with 149 crimes per 10,000 residents, tied to areas with heavy nightlife activity where alcohol-related incidents and thefts are more common. And, of course, all the out-of-towners that are visiting during football season, they say, ups the opportunistic crime stats.
Well, they had a real problem with the Strip. We know about the Darius Miles, and but it does. And I guess the Maddox administration has been there forever. Try to tamp down on it, but the way everything they do is a little heavy-handed anyway. But there's a balance, and I don't know they quite got it figured out.
Is Walt Maddox kind of the unofficial leader of the Big Ten mayors, or would there be other mayors that might not like me even saying that?
I don't know. Maybe now with Stimson going out, Bobby Battle sort of does his own thing. It was certainly not Stephen Reed or Randall Woodfin. They're on an island to their own. And then the other 10 mayor, the Dothan, Hoover, Madison, Decatur, they're just kind of new to the game.
Yeah, and I don't know. We were talking earlier about all these municipal elections on your program. Do you think the whole let's legalize marijuana all throughout the state, not that I personally disagree, is going to be a great political angle for Randall Woodfin?
It's maybe all you have. Joey, have you spent much time in Birmingham lately?
Not a lot. I usually go see a friend and I get out of town. I haven't spent a lot of time in the town. A little bit of time downtown last time I went, and I was like, oh, maybe I was wrong. The place looks nice. And we turned a corner and it's like several homeless folks soliciting. And I'm like, oh man, I spoke too soon.
Well, they've, right around the Civic Center there, they've really tried it, and they've gotten, the thing is, just copious amounts of money from the state. Remember the World Games debacle?
Oh, yeah.
They moved the amphitheater where it had been in forever in Pelham to Birmingham. There was an effort, but that's such a small, and I think this is where it's guided in Birmingham, such a small part of that city. That's a big city, and just geographically big. It spreads out pretty far. And you go to Inslee, or you go to Wylam, or you go to Woodlawn. It's not a place you want to be.
Yeah, and the idea of bringing more state assistance in, I brought that up with Catherine Robertson, who's current chief counsel running for AG, for folks who don't know. And she said Montgomery, we at least had cooperation, especially with the sheriff's department. And Montgomery is there's one sheriff overall Montgomery County. When you look at Birmingham, there's so many different, say, chiefs in charge of their little fiefdoms that is the sprawling metro area, that it's very difficult for the state to get to, say, willing partners. And that's a lot more resources than just covering Montgomery.
Well, the thing about Birmingham, they're paying for the sins of the past. When we know the history of Birmingham with Bull Connor and the water hoses and, the 16th Street Baptist Church. And then they integrated, and, what was a predominantly white city moved to the suburbs. And you have 23 municipalities in Jefferson County. That's not even counting St. Clair or Shelby County. You have all these little, fiefdoms, if you will, throughout the county. And that's what they have to deal with. And they have all these school systems. And you don't have that phenomenon never took place in Mobile, Montgomery, or, Huntsville really wasn't on the scene then. But they kept it together. They worked through their racial strife in Montgomery and Mobile to the degree that you didn't have that. You look at the suburbs of Montgomery, sure, there's always been Wetumpka, Prattville, Autauga County, Millbrook, whatever. Pike Road is sort of a new phenomenon, and you hear this a lot about Montgomery. A lot of people are living in Auburn and making that drive all the way, whatever it is, an hour. So that's you're right. I mean, that's sort of the problem with Jefferson County. You have a lot of chefs in the kitchen that all want to do it different ways.
Yeah, and it seems like this push in D.C. by Trump and the Trump administration is playing out. I think it's good politics around the nation, but I have to read this quote. I'll play the clip a little later, folks. But Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance and a few others were at D.C.'s Union Station. Miller put out this doozy of a quote, "We're going to ignore these stupid white hippies that all need to go home and take a nap because they're all over 90 years old." Like, oh my God. And I don't think just on the crime issue, he might be onto something that a lot of the energy of the Democrat Party, it's still yearning for an era that's just gone. And I'll add to that, there's a New York Times story that came out showing Republicans over the last 4 years have surged by 4.5 million registered voters. It's not just Alabama woes for Democratic Party. It seems nationwide, and things like common sense, 80-20 issues like crime, the transgender nonsense, you go down the list, it's not working well for the Democrats.
Here's a dirty little secret, Joey, about Birmingham. They've been working with the feds for a little while. This is probably true in Washington, D.C. as well. The local government there acknowledges we got a problem, but they don't want to be seen as like cozying up with the Trump administration. It's just not a winner for them. Maybe it doesn't matter within the cities. Whatever it does, get the job done. But these guys, I think particularly Randall Woodfin, is troubled or thinks that it would dim his national spotlight if he was perceived to be in cahoots with the Trump administration in the name of solving crime.
Yeah, and is Woodfin pretty much a sure thing to be their gubernatorial candidate here in the state? Or, I mean, I wonder, my own mayor here, Stephen Reed, might want to throw his hat in. It could be an opportunity for some of these, blue city mayors to at least get their name ID up.
I don't know. You're right. Get your name ID up, become more of a national figure. Now, Stephen Reed, I think he would have been congressman. Yeah. I think he would have beaten Shamari Figures if he had ran, but he chose not to. I don't know. So something tells me that maybe he's not looking down the field at opportunism. You know that administration far better than I do. But I absolutely believe that Randall Woodfin is ambitious, and he, and the other thing about that is he could run and not have to give up his mayor seat if he loses, and he will lose. So it is a grand publicity tour.
Now, is there any hope? I know some Democrats, especially in the media, will still make these noises of the legal challenge to Tuberville's residency. That seems the only hope they have.
They will try, but kind of exploring this, where would it logically go? Let's say it does make it to the Alabama Supreme Court. Is there any reason to believe the all-Republican elected Alabama Supreme Court would rule against? Well, I think the odds are slim. I mean, it is a political body. We've seen it ruling after ruling after ruling. We saw it with some of the ALDOT stuff and, the Ethics Commission or whatever it may be. The Supreme Court seems to take the political easy road on these hot buttons.
Yeah, and it's just I'm not rooting for the Democrats in this state. I wonder, what are y'all even doing at this point? Because I think
it just exists.
Yeah.
Joey, it just exists for Joe Reed.
Yeah.
The Republicans, a lot of switchovers after the 2010 cycle, even before that, Joe Reed stuck around. It's his party. There's no balance there, and you got to go kiss his ring. Ask right after Doug Jones won the Senate race, 18 cycle. There were a lot of Democrats who thought that, well, I could do that too. I mean, this is the prime opportunity. Tabitha Eisner, Mallory Hagan, and then they got no help from the state Democratic Party. And then, there was enough anger there that they ousted the Joe Reed puppet, brought in Chris England, who is a prominent Democrat, and he threw in the towel. There was just no cooperation from the Joe Reed wing of the party, and it became kind of a fruitless endeavor.
Oh, well, it's somewhat fun watching them toil in obscurity, but I think a competitive party that actually holds Alabama's values could even make a GOP supermajority that much better. But we'll see down the road.
I agree. I mean, it's this grocery tax thing versus the overtime tax, and it's things like that. The Republican Party in Alabama, without a real viable Democratic Party, is more of the big business corporatist party now.
Yeah, and it's a shame, though. I'd look at a lot of the slate of candidates now, even though, say, those endorsed by the Business Council of Alabama. And I think we have a pretty good list of folks in the Republican primary right now in terms of, like, good conservative folks. Like, it seems like whoever wins this, real conservatives won't necessarily even lose.
Well, my frustration is not so much the statewide offices, it's the legislative seats. And it's the same people running. You may see the entire Alabama State Senate not really have a serious race, except maybe Andrew Jones' seat in Cherokee County. But it's like talking to a few members, the Senate may be roughly what it is now, and there not be a real viable, you're just going to get the same sort of branding. Like I said, kind of go on to get along, don't rock the boat. Let Roger Smitherman do what Roger Smitherman needs to do, kind of stuff.
Well, we'll keep watching it. And before I let you go, I know you spent some time there in D.C., live there. What do you make of Trump's latest move to call out the Smithsonian Institution, him putting out there, they're out of control? Ever go by the Smithsonian in your days up there?
Whenever I'd have a relative or a friend come to town, that's when I would do the sort of monument tour and take them around. But there's something to that. Joey, I was at with the National Park Service and its whole sort of game here. My trip I took on vacation, we went to the Gateway Arch.
Okay.
And if you go to it, you go. They built like a big museum. There's full of exhibits, and before you get to the train, it takes you up to the top, and you get out and you can look out of it. But it was very like anti, almost like what we were taught, traditional American history. And it was like anti-capitalism, mercantilism, the evils of that, and that's what led to American expansion. It was almost like it was, obviously the plight of the Indians and the Native Americans or whatever. That was we were the bad guys. The people of that era were the bad guys. It couldn't just be like a balanced, sort of this is the history and this is why the arch is here. It's the gateway to the West. It was like we were bad people in our history for expanding to the West. And they did a Mexican-American War exhibit with the Alamo, and it was very pro-Mexico. It was the most bizarre thing, and I think there's a culture problem within the Department of the Interior that runs these parks, that they set these things up, and they're these just rabidly left-wing sort of exhibits in all of our national parks.
Oh yeah, and the only thing I really remember my time in DC is the Spy Museum is really, really cool. And like say the aviation stuff is awesome. But even years ago when I went, some of your natural history museums and stuff, it seemed either long in the tooth, and I don't mean just like, the dinosaur displays or old skeletons. It just seemed like it needed to be spruced up a little bit. And then to your point about the culture, it does seem like Howard Zinn is writing the description of a lot of these exhibits.
Yeah.
And I guess there's another story out there where this trans person with the Park Service climbed El Capitan like halfway up and unfurled a trans flag. She's now been fired. But
right.
It does seem like it's not just like public health here in Alabama and the federal bureaucracies. This is where you get some of the biggest lib Looney Tunes.
Yeah, well, maybe that's just the kind of people who want to devote a career, a life to that kind of service. Maybe it's a culture problem within, and that feeds on itself, where they don't hire conservatives. They have to hire the left-wing, like-minded, whatever, in a role at these parks, and that's a cycle that needs to be broken. I'm not saying it needs to be like right wingy or anything like that. But like, do we really need to beat up on the country and make us feel bad about ourselves at every waking opportunity?
Yeah, the self-flagellation it's a little much, and well, hopefully they will continue to push this. I know he's been working on the Kennedy Center, now going after the Smithsonian. We'll get into more of the details a little later, folks. Well, Jeff, I always appreciate your time. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so?
1819 News, 1819news.com, also x.com/Jeff_Poor, Poor.
Well, thank you, sir. We'll do it again soon.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Again, folks, that's Jeff Poor. Always appreciate his time, his generous offering of his time. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark, and that great team. They're ready to help you out with that roof of yours. And help you out could just mean give you peace of mind. Could just mean a basic inspection. You should be getting inspections done on a regular basis. So if you do have an issue, especially the small issues that get worse over time, they're going to find it swiftly, be able to fix it at a much lower cost than if you let these problems fester. If you haven't had your roof inspected in 5, 10, 15 years, you are playing with a very expensive fire there, a very expensive problem. And so they're at River Region Contracting. The great news is their inspections are always free. That way they come on out, they'll tell you you're good and you're not on the hook for any money. You're not charged whatsoever. But say they do find a problem. Well, they do that estimate. They will write up that estimate for free. Those estimates are always free. And they're insurance specialists. So if you are worried about making a claim with your insurance company to fix an issue with your roof, they can walk you through that claims process and make it a swift and easy experience. So y'all check out River Region Contracting today. That number, 356-8635. Again, that's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd Clark and the great team there that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from give you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
Hello, this is Pam with All About the Bounce. We have been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for a little over a month now and have seen great results. Thank you, Blue Water, for helping us to bring the bounce to more customers across the River region. Radio advertisement is definitely the best advertisement.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our forecast yet. It was still triple-digit heat indices today with highs in the middle 90s and a good bit of sunshine. And the rain chances fairly small, widely scattered storms perhaps in the afternoon and evening hours. Lows tonight still in the mid-70s. Rain chances slightly better on Thursday with scattered afternoon and evening storms. Then improving rain chances Friday and Saturday. More storms on the radar. And by the weekend, the temperatures start to come down just a notch. Highs will come down to the upper 80s instead of mid-90s. That's a little better. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
The museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. That's the beginning of a Truth Social post put out by the President of the United States, Donald John Trump. He continues saying the Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. We're not going to allow this to happen, Trump goes on, and I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities where tremendous progress has been made. This country cannot be woke, because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including in our museums. So Trump beginning with that to get, well, the destruction of the woke, the destruction of political correctness. The job's not over. And it is fascinating. Like, there are always interesting, say, methodological concerns that you can take into account on when you tell the history of a people, a place, or just one individual life. Like, how many different biographies have been made of George Washington and Alexander Hamilton and John Adams and old Thomas Jefferson and old Tom Paine too. I mean, you have one book. I mean, is there anything else to say? Yes, of course, there's always more to say. The autobiography is always different, too, than, say, the folks who are doing these biographies 100 years, 200 years after somebody has passed. And in certain ways, you get a lot from, say, the pen of Benjamin Franklin himself, but it's also worthwhile seeing somebody removed from that time and place of Ben Franklin, that dirty dog. Brilliant guy, but also that dirty dog. There's something valuable about somebody removed from that time and place, removed from knowing Franklin directly, knowing the culture directly. You can see it in a, say, different light, from a different perspective. There's value in that. And then when you start talking about not just individual lives, but the history of a country, the history of Western civilization, the history of the globe, there are so many different angles, so many different ways you can string together, original sources and basic facts to tell a story and tell a narrative. And so you often get what people in academia or folks would call the great man theory of history, that history is great men, it's military conquest, it's economic achievements by great industrialists. And so the left started doing their own history of the feminists, the civil rights leaders, the moral crusaders who stood up against these powerful institutions. And then, of course, you get some other ones I find just fascinating, where it's actually talking about aspects of American culture that aren't about winning a political fight. It's just, what was the entertainment of the time? What were the drinking habits of the time? How did people spend their leisure time in, say, the late 1700s? Apparently, there are a lot of bars and a lot of weird stuff going on. In fact, the founders wrote about it constantly, worried about these issues in American cities. So you can tell history in all sorts of different ways, and that's not wrong by any means. More history, the better, as far as I'm concerned. But when you start telling the story of, say, America, and it seems like the emphasis is going to be on how America is so just rotten because America has never lived up to her ideal. And then you infuse into that basic idea a, say, Marxist, a socialist point of view on the way people got rich, for instance, in America is through exploitation. That's how the nation got rich. Did some individuals get rich through exploitation? Of course. That's human history. America is no different than that. Slavery's existed since the beginning of time. And things akin to chattel slavery, things that aren't outright chattel slavery, have existed since the beginning of time. So are there individual industrialists, individual slave owners, people that personally got wealthy and powerful because of their exploitation, oppression of folks? Yes. But when you look at, say, the entire economic pie, when you look at the prosperity that we still really take for granted, that has been built up, that isn't just built on exploitation. That is a ignorant understanding of the economic boom and miracle starting in about the year 1800, speeding up to today, though we seem to have been losing some of the things, some of the values, some of the common sense that helped build the nation. So if you just say America is exploitation, America is colonialism, America is the oppressor, that's one angle, but it's not the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Then you add to that perspective, oh, I'm going to use this message of America as the oppressor, the white patriarchal, yada, 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 yada. You start using that very narrow read of American history as a modern day political cudgel, then you at this point, it's like, okay, you're not even trying to be charitable or fair. You're trying to tell a particular story that seems to give you the moral weight and the moral authority. And you don't necessarily have it. Like, and the most absurd examples would be like, we need universal single-payer health care in America because of slavery. And it's like, it's such a big leap. And there are so many others, say, socialist policies that you could maybe just argue them straight up, but because they keep losing those arguments in the United States of America and more, instead, how can we insert, say, our redistributionist, Marxist, neo-Marxist, whatever? I'm sure Karl Marx would look at the current left and be like, y'all are a bunch of weenies, you namby-pambies, y'all are weak. Thought we're going to take back the means of production, like rise up. But this sort of warmed over Marxism that has been lately, the whole idea of woke was intersectional politics. So it's all the different levels of privilege between, white people and black people and Hispanic people and Asian people. And there's a whole ranking of different privileges because of that race. And then you add also the privileges that men have, especially straight people, these cisgender people, which is just a weird way of trying to marginalize a normal person. And you can take into account the race, the ethnicity, the sex, the sexuality, and then get into even more vague terms of identity that is sometimes sexual, sometimes not. It's just so vague that, it's just me trying to be an individual. And it's been rejected. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really work. Number one, it doesn't work in terms of a organizing principle for a political party. It tears down way too much. It belittles way too much. And it always ends with a huge power play. This is why you've recently seen folks saying, to save democracy, we have to pack the court and add states to the union and do all these, get rid of the electoral college. Abolish the Senate. So y'all are just going straight for the power plays, for the structural power plays. It shows a party that is lacking in ideas as the way the system currently stands. The ideas they did have didn't work. Now, to back me up on this a little bit, because what was that one line that is in particular provocative, especially to center and left-wing ears, is this one sentence from Trump: the Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. In particular, that line, how bad slavery was. To make my point, and I've made this point before, many people have made this point, especially around 2010 and say the 2012 cycle when Obama's going up against Romney. That's when you see this woke, the great awakening, the big push to divide folks, to slice and dice folks into these different coalitions based on race, sex, sexuality, yada, yada, yada. And who was pumping it up? The corporate press. Now, I'm not going to continue with the point because we have a great moment that happened on, of all places, a great, well, if you can call it great, corporate press outlet, CNN. It's not what Ted Turner built. Not anymore. But there is a woman who's always been a leftist, and she has been coming around and making arguments on behalf of Trump since Trump won and a little bit before Trump won in 2024. You've probably seen her, Batya Ungar-Sargon, if you can even say her name that way. She was going back and forth with the CNN panel about this very issue. In particular, oh, Trump just doesn't want us to talk about slavery. Okay. That's not, that's, he's saying don't make that the defining characteristic. Don't use that as a modern day political cudgel, as a way to create cultural demoralization. Stop that. It's one thing to understand the history, to put it in the context of the larger global history. But it's not, and it's not just the mentions of slavery. It's all these buzzwords, white supremacy, racism. Terms have been around for a while, but there's a marked increase in people using these terms, pushing these topics around that time when it looked like there might be a populist movement coalescing together that didn't, say, row in the same direction as the corporate elite in this country wanted us to go. So here is Batya on CNN, I think holding her own, making a damn good point. Let's listen in together.
Starting around 2011, 2012, sociologists started to notice a shift in white liberal opinion polling to where white progressives became more extreme in their views on race than Black and Hispanic Americans. And they called this, the sociologists did, called it the Great Awakening. And when they postulated, where did this come from? Why did white progressives suddenly start obsessing in a way that was actually far to the left of where Hispanic and Black Americans were on this issue? They found that the media had shifted radically how it talked about these issues. So for example, in 2010, the words white supremacy were mentioned 75 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times. But the media is different from museums. In 2020, the words white supremacy were mentioned 700 times in the Washington Post and the New York Times and 2,400 times in NPR.
Damn.
The word racism, 4,000 times in 2020. The words white and racial privilege from 2013 to 2019 grew by 1,500% in the New York Times and the Washington Post. And the word slavery itself exponentially skyrocketed as a percentage of words. I'm offering this only to suggest.
I understand. I'm just wondering what do you think is the problem with talking about slavery, white supremacy, racism, et cetera?
So the point I'm trying to make here is that liberals will say, well, this is a reflection of reality. But of course it isn't. This is a reflection of a newfound obsession that was driven by the media. Well, and that doesn't reflect either the moral evil of these things or the historical accuracy.
I do want to dive into what you mean by that, because you say that you don't think it's a reflection of reality.
It's not.
Based on what?
Well,
based on the idea that those things don't exist, that
Based
white
on the
supremacy
idea
doesn't
that-
exist, racism doesn't exist, that we shouldn't be talking about
Based
it
on the
anymore?
idea, obviously all these things I think are evil, but there's not more slavery now to the tune
Yeah,
of
but I think part of the problem,
1,500% than there was
Batya, is that in the
respectfully, that's
hold on a second, Bakari. Part of the problem is that back, not that long ago in the 50s, 60s, even beyond that, when there was actual Jim Crow happening in this country, people were actually treating Black people as second-class citizens. We weren't talking about those things at all.
But in
those words were virtually never mentioned.
I mean, you don't
so is
think
that
2013
better? Was it better then, or was it
missing-
worse?
You don't think that 2013 is the same as the 1960s,
But you're missing,
right?
respectfully, and I've had this debate
Do
many
you
times.
really think that there's as big a difference
But
between the
but we're
1960s
missing-
and
I don't.
We're missing
That's
the
not my point.
point.
My point is that the use of the language in present day, or the lack of the use of the language back when racism was apparent every single day in the streets of America, doesn't reflect really anything except perhaps a better awareness of the reality that we live in as a country.
That's not the
Do you think
point.
the country was more racist in
That's not the
2016?
point.
I didn't say anything about whether
but you're
the country
missing
was more
the
racist.
point.
Oh, but that's not the point. That's not the point. You're taking away our political cudgel. Stop it. You're revealing to folks that we don't reflect what they organically care about. It's our job. Well, it was their job. They're now failing. But it's our job as the corporate press to tell people what's real, what's reality, what they should care about. And there's a reason Donald Trump wins the popular vote in 2024. In particular, young men across races are tired of this crap. And it's not just them, but that's, say, the group most fed up and done with it. Yes, I think the so-called muscular classes, the so-called working classes, are tired of these undergraduate and graduate degreed folks that go immediately into these corporate mouthpiece jobs telling us what we should believe and care about and what we should talk about all the live long day. We're free now. We'll talk about what we want. I'll talk about what I want on X. I'll talk about what I want on Facebook and on YouTube and on all sorts of other platforms that are much freer than those I just named. We'll talk about what we want to talk about. And what we're going to find, now that we're free from y'all's lobotomizing and indoctrination of the population, when you had the monopoly on the microphones and the messaging, we might find being free of that system of control that you relied on for a few generations, free of that, we might start realizing, oh, we have a heck of a lot more in common on some common sense stuff about, say, the kitchen table issues and peace. And yes, feeling good about your nation. Yes, leaning into the idea that there's a lot of problems. Often it does feel like the system's rigged. But the way we beat a rigged system is you set people free to rise and fall on their own merits. And of course, it's not just like, oh, a history lesson on slavery. Because if you are interested in that, you can do a deep dive on it. Slavery in the American South. You could also do a deep dive on the wider issue of slavery since the beginning of human history. But that doesn't mean to downplay the unique evils of chattel slavery in the United States of America. But it's not just that. It's not like basic lessons. You remember the whole aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture in the United States of America put out by the Smithsonian, saying that white people mostly believe in rugged individualism. I thought individualism was like a philosophical stance. I thought maybe if it grew out of anything, it wasn't whiteness. It was more, say, the Protestant Reformation. Are you telling me that there are non-white folks aren't individualists? I think more and more of them are. It also ascribed whiteness as characterized by the nuclear family. The husband is the breadwinner, the head of the household. That white people emphasize objective, rational, linear thinking. And a lot of folks at the time when this was put out by the Smithsonian, folks are saying, did David Duke write this? So it's not just basic lessons of history, ugly warts and all. It's not just the idea of you can look at history from many different perspectives, which is a valuable thing, especially as time goes on and we want to revisit these eras that we're more and more removed from. I think what's happening actually is people are getting more and more removed from the way the table was set after the Second World War. How the table was set by FDR and his team of revolutionaries. And now that things are being reset geopolitically, economically, and we've had this little experiment of, well, you can just print more and more money and have more and more debt and give out more and more goodies to fat cats on Wall Street and rich industrialists and create a whole welfare class. You might have folks going, why are we doing this? It doesn't have to be this way. And I'm sorry, I don't have the same personal affection for FDR electrifying the South that my grandpa once did. We're past that. Excuse me, pardon me. There might be a lot of folks, white, black, brown, whatever, who look at like the mythology, not to say it's untrue, We're saying the mythology, the feeling, the ethos, the respect for the civil rights era. It might be folks are like, yeah, I know that history and I respect the accomplishments of the past, but it's not the driving, organizing principle anymore. We're getting a raw deal here. And then you ruined that. You ruined the good of, say, the civil rights movement that happens here in Montgomery by adding under the banner of civil rights things like sex changes for kids. And so folks are going, what are we even doing anymore? Maybe we revisit that history. The conversation is going to be fascinating to watch going forward. But I think at the bottom of this, it's really a technological change. So much of what's happening right now is a technological change. On a personality basis, on one man changing most things, it is Trump. But Trump is not going to be able to change things in the way he did without Twitter in 2016 or X in 2024. It's people being set free from these media outlets that, yes, brainwash folks, lobotomized and brainwashed and indoctrinated folks by saying, here's the issues you must talk about. The stats are real that in the last, from 2010 to like 2020, the amount of emphasis on race, on slavery, on white supremacy, on all the privileges of whoever. It was not organic. It was not being clamored for by everyday Americans. It was the latest push by the corporate elite. And we are now, because of technology, set free from y'all's usual means of control. And is it messy? Are there things online in this brave new world, in this wild west of the online that I don't like? Yep, but that's kind of how freedom actually works. So good on Trump pushing this. He's not stopping. He, you might say, already killed political correctness. He thinks, nope, my work is not yet done. Keep pushing, Mr. President. Keep pushing. This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. They will be sponsoring the whole second hour coming up. But I want early on to tell you that they're ready to help you out. So great seeing Madeline yesterday here in studio. And Madeline, the team, especially are ready to help you with veterans out there who haven't taken advantage of the VA home loan programs. Maybe you already have a VA home loan and there's an opportunity to refinance in a unique, great way for you that saves you a bunch of money monthly. The Earl refinance deals that they do, really great stuff. Or maybe you're not in a VA home loan yet. You want to buy a home, refinance that current home. It's the best game in town. And there are really too many veterans still who don't know about these benefits that they earn through their service that Alabama Home Mortgage can help you with. Of course, you don't have to be a veteran to, well, get a great deal there at Alabama Home Mortgage, whether you're looking to buy or refi. Check them out today. Just give them a call. Start the conversation. 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can visit them on the web, apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. MLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Quick break, and we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. He's finally back in town, folks, from a long journey. How you doing today, Austin?
Glad to be back, Joey, and sorry I haven't talked to you guys in quite a while.
Oh, that's all good. That's all good. Now, I saw, and I guess the numbers from in the notes from the FOMC meeting drop in like 5 minutes. And so as we continue to hear for calls for the Fed to cut rates, especially from Trump and team, and a lot of players. I know people in real estate here locally, there are a lot of folks want to see these rate cuts. What is the Fed looking at going into their decision-making on this?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I would go ahead and say we are almost certainly going to get a cut in September. So I'd probably bank on that. I'll, eat those words if I'm wrong, but I'm feeling very confident in a quarter-point cut in September. And the numbers they look at to do that come from a variety of sources, but they're looking at the dual mandate, mandate one being inflation, mandate two being unemployment. And the inflation data, there's a target of 2%. And right now the numbers have come in at around 2.7%. And that 2% anchor is what they call it. If we can anchor inflation at 2%, then the Fed feels like it's appropriate to keep interest rates low so that businesses can borrow at a cheaper rate. People can finance homes at a cheaper rate, knowing that it is not going to increase inflation at an unsustainable rate that they can't recover. The second mandate is unemployment. And although they don't give a specific anchor number for unemployment like they do with inflation, most economists would argue that anchor, if they were to give one, would be between 3.5% and 4.5%. Well, recently, unemployment numbers have come in around 4.2%. So our inflation is almost anchored at 2. We're at 2.7. We're getting close to that 2% anchor. Our unemployment is between the 3.5 and 4.5 that most economists would call, an anchor if the Fed were to actually give an anchor. So we are very close to a normal economic environment. And when you achieve that, which is what the Fed's been trying to do by holding rates a bit higher than they have in the last 4 or 5 years, you can go back to, easy money policy where it's a little bit cheaper to borrow. And why that is important, I'll talk about why it's important for, say, employees or business owners, and then also, real estate investors or home buyers. When interest rates come down, you can refinance your home at a rate that's much better. So right now, if you're fresh out of college and you're saving for a house and you go to buy a house and you put down, the 3.5 or 5% down payment, you're probably looking at an interest rate of 7 to 8%. Right. Which, just to keep numbers simple, on a $100,000 loan, if you buy a $100,000 house, you're looking at $7,000 to $8,000 of interest per year, which is, call it $800 a month, $800 a month. That's a lot for someone fresh out of college to make that payment that doesn't even build principal in your home. That is simply a check that you're stroking to the bank to borrow the money. Whereas if these rates come down, and let's say that you can get that rate down to 5%, that's a substantial change and more money in the pocket of a first-time home buyer. Why it matters to small businesses or even employees is, right now unemployment is ticking up a little bit, which is getting us into the 4.2, 4.25 range, where if it gets above 4.5, I think we will see some problems where businesses aren't able to retain employees. And so they've got to make tough choices. Do they forego expanding their business by borrowing money to buy new equipment per se and let an employee go? And that's a tough decision to make. And so when it is easier to borrow money or cheaper to borrow money, they can both borrow money at a lower rate, keep a little bit of extra cash flow in the business to either maintain that extra employee or go out and hire a new employee. So it's very important for both business owners and home buyers and real estate investors that the borrowing cost of money is reasonable. And I'm not going to say where we are right now is unreasonable, but when we've gotten conditioned at lower interest rates, through the post-COVID era, it certainly feels unreasonable to most people out there. And I do expect cuts coming. I'm very confident we will get one in September. We'll see how we do the rest of the year. I know a lot of people are pounding the table for more cuts. And as we've seen from Jerome, he's not really a quick mover under this administration. So I'll believe it when I see it. But let's get through this first cut in September and see what happens after that.
Folks, it's this sort of insight and expertise that's helping drive the car there at Invista Advisors. Austin runs the brokerage desk. And if you're looking for just a holistic, all of the above financial planning, whether it's investments or you're looking at, say, other concerns that go into financial planning, they've got a great multidisciplinary team there at Invista Advisors. Just call them up today, start the conversation at 387-0094, and be sure to say, hey, I heard Austin Branco on the radio with Joey Clark. Want to see what y'all can do for me.
Awesome. Well, great to hear you and Eddie today, Joey, and y'all have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Austin. Good to hear from you, sir. Glad you're back safe in one piece. Again, folks, that's Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Hurricane Aaron set to threaten large stretches of the U.S. East Coast, bringing storm surges, rip currents, and coastal flooding. The Category 2 storm is not expected to make landfall in the U.S., but authorities have cautioned that highways, flooding, and road closures are likely. North Carolina expected to be one of the worst hit areas, but no swimming advisories have already been issued at beaches as far north as New Jersey and Delaware. A dangerous heat wave has descended on much of California and the U.S. Southwest, with triple-digit temperatures expected along with a higher risk of wildfires. The peak of the heat wave will hit Arizona on Thursday and Friday. Temperatures could reach 110 degrees Fahrenheit. On Wall Street, the Dow dropping 46 points, the Nasdaq losing 212. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our forecast yet. It was still triple-digit heat indices today with highs in the middle 90s and a good bit of sunshine. And the rain chances fairly small, widely scattered storms perhaps in the afternoon and evening hours. Lows tonight still in the mid-70s. Rain chances slightly better on Thursday with scattered afternoon and evening storms. Then improving rain chances Friday and Saturday. More storms on the radar. And by the weekend, the temperatures start to come down just a notch. Highs will come down to the upper 80s instead of mid-90s. That's a little better. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. An investigation is underway after a Montgomery man died in a Tuesday morning crash. 23-year-old Cody Dawkins was killed when his SUV left Meriwether Road and struck a tree. Dawkins was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash and was pronounced dead at the scene. The accident happened about 6 miles south of Montgomery city limits. The FDA has issued a warning that shrimp sold at Walmart could be radioactive. Great value raw frozen shrimp should not be consumed due to possible contamination from a radioactive CS-137 isotope. The recalled products were sold at Walmart stores in 13 states, including Alabama. Consumers are advised to throw away great value raw frozen shrimp immediately. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest in a Montgomery fatal shooting. On the afternoon of Friday, August 8th, 21-year-old Jericho Hinkle was shot in the 3000 block of Woodley Road. Hinkle later died at Baptist Medical Center South. If you have any information regarding the murder of Jericho Hinkle, please contact police. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
How would you like to get a half-price pizza in August at Pizza Perfect? Buy any large pizza and get a single-topping large pizza at half price. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza, as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Get a one-topping large pizza for half price with the purchase of any large pizza at Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. First hour already down. In studio with me, we have Eddie Bader and Hannah. How you two doing today?
Pretty good. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing all right. Life is good.
Yeah.
Flying by. In a second, we'll have Jeff Deist, former Chief of Staff to Ron Paul,
Oh,
calling
yeah.
in at about 1:30. And today, they already did some big celebration. I think Jeff went to it when I talked to him about it. But today is Ron Paul's 90th birthday.
Really?
So happy birthday,
Happy
Ron Paul.
90 years old. Wow.
And man, he was so, this is what I want to talk to Jeff about, just kind of lean into what was he right about? There's so many things he saw coming down the road
There
that
wasn't much he was wrong about there, Joseph.
he was calling them out. Now, the one thing a lot of folks, even Trump who wants peace, have not gone with Ron Paul on his foreign policy because, you know, we're an empire, but we deny it, but we still got to do stuff. It's important, yada, yada, yada. So, we'll see. We'll see. But one thing I was getting into last hour was this push by Trump to get rid of the woke in the Smithsonian museums. Yes, which I like.
Me too.
Quite a bit. But then I got waxing poetic, ranting, whatever, thinking aloud that you really are seeing, in particular, say, identity politics of Black Americans. You are starting to see more and more young Black men. You're like, you know, I don't care about this. In fact, I'm 20-something years old, and I'm doing all right. I think this country's amazing. Have I experienced some a-holes or some jerks every once in a while? Yeah, sure. But that doesn't matter. They're gum on the bottom of my shoe. I'm living in America. It's a free country. I'm doing well. And the places I'm not doing well is because the government and the other people in the system they've rigged it in a way that hurts everybody who's trying to come up in this society. Damn boomers. I just had to throw that in.
Did you just say you were 20-something years old?
I'm giving the example.
I'm sorry, I didn't make it past that.
I when you said that.
I literally didn't make it past that.
I'm not speaking for me. I was giving a hypothetical.
Okay, I took it the same way.
I was going to ask you, how old are you?
Sometimes I got to remember who I talk to.
Know your crowd here, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, let me slow down.
Thank you. Are you going to start talking in cursive again? We don't need that.
It's just how I talk.
No, that's not how you talk.
Yeah, well, the real way I talk is not allowed on FCC airwaves.
Yes, this is true.
You just got a preview of it.
This is true.
I didn't do it to you, and because
I heard.
It'll get there though. As I get to know you, it's like, yeah.
I can't wait.
It's
coming back for you.
Yeah. No, that's great. He gives it back too. It's fine. It's fine. But my point is, there are more and more young men of all races. There's like, we're tired of the woke. We're tired of the Karen, like, scold from the liberal arts degree. Like, I went to J school, so I'm smart and I read things and I know how to spell. And it's like, good for you. We now have spell check. You're as useless as Grammarly. Good job for you.
But to me, you got more and more people than ever before that believe in themselves instead of going and not everyone, but instead of going to your typical college, a lot of people go to junior college.
Yeah.
They're starting off the world in business. Some people are skipping college and just starting.
Or they're jumping right into like a 2-year trade school.
Right.
And making bank.
And making good money. Yeah.
Right. And so here's an example. I don't know if y'all have seen this. What is it? Jubilee. It's like these debate things they have where a person sits in the center and it's a whole crowd of folks around them. And there's an empty chair and they have to run to it and they're arguing over some point. Like Charlie Kirk's done it. Jordan Peterson's done it. But in this case, they had a very liberal professor.
Mm-hmm. He's in the center of the room.
Black woman.
She's in the center of the
room.
room.
And the proposition she puts out is, quote, "It is undeniable." I'm not saying this, by the way. This is not me saying this. I'm not 20 years old. I'm quoting this black professor, this woman. Quote, "It's undeniable that reparations are just and necessary." And a young black man runs to the chair. He disagrees.
Oh,
you want to listen in together?
Yeah,
let's listen in together. Take it away.
Everyone here, like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently, a $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI.
And what's great is, by the way,
she didn't like that.
She didn't like that. You're about to hear her response, and it's not very eloquent. It's more just vibes.
Yeah,
it really is. It's just vibes. I think at one point she's like, "You need to talk to me like I'm your mama," and I'm like,
"Did she?
You're not my mother, you weird bat crap crazy woman."
What? Yeah.
Like, go home to your cats and act like they're your children. But goodness gracious, I'm not going to treat you like my mother. And if I did, the only time mom would really tell the truth is if I push back a little bit. Like, come on, tell me the real stuff. Don't throw that my way. Anyway, he's right. They're fact checking this in real time. The FBI statistic is at 90%, 88%. But he's generally right about this. So let's hear her response.
It's when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI.
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time.
Mhm.
So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of Black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. What? No one here is in.
Are you
being
acting
impinged on
right now?
anything.
Do you
I'm
really
I'm
believe
telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories using black-only dormitories because black people feel safer amongst each other, but they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my
Tell me.
God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now.
Okay.
Okay. So on a basic.
Yeah, you thought I was exaggerating. I was. Yo, mama.
No, that's that sense of entitlement that a lot of people of ignorance have when somebody challenges them with facts.
Yeah.
Level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that Black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism. And we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off.
Well, and by the way, throughout the whole thing, it's like an hour or something long. She is constantly interrupting and cutting people off. And if anybody tries to butt in, she gets really upset.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I'm your mom. You pay attention. You listen to me, young man. Where were you even educated? And I'm like, that's a weak response. And it's that sort of stuff that makes me actually hopeful, because I think the future does not belong to this liberal professor. It belongs to that young man right there.
Right. And a lot of
All
people
day.
that young man's age, they don't get caught up in this crap. They're worried about making it for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I said, more and more people now, entrepreneurial spirits are stronger now than I've ever seen before.
And this
you know,
is,
they'll
this-
call it the hustle, but it's an
Right.
entrepreneurial spirit.
and it's why you need to keep getting more and more deregulation.
Yes.
More tax cuts for working people. In fact, Trump himself said we should raise taxes on the rich up to 39%. That didn't bother me. Like, go ahead. On the riches, now they still get most of it through capital gains and other things, not direct
Give
income.
them a year and a half. It's another system that work.
But right, the Democrats always claim a 2% hike on the highest rate, highest earners will bring in this much revenue. Okay, cool. If that helps the budget
But
scoring,
it doesn't.
raise it on them.
It just helps them spend more money.
Yeah, but the point Trump's making, and it's a good point, I wish more Republicans listen, is focus those tax cuts on the vast majority of the people in this nation that are the middle class,
Yeah.
that are the working class. Specialize in that. And if they didn't, but we got to raise taxes a little bit on the rich to do that, cool. The idea, though, is cut the taxes, especially if you start bringing in so much tariff revenue, make it zero. That's
Oh,
the
sure.
fairest tax rate for working people.
Yep.
Zero. And then you start getting rid of a lot of the crazy regulations that hold back people starting small businesses,
But
that hold back that
Those
entrepreneurship.
regulations were paid by somebody else to keep you down, Joey. To keep
Of
you from
course.
starting that small
Of
business.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like, Trump team are perfect. There is, I think, a lot too much in terms
sure.
of coziness with big business. But that's kind of the nature of America and has been for a long time.
Like it or not, that's the way it's been.
Yeah, we're not going to get that huge revolution just yet.
Not yet. No.
But I'm very happy that a lot of folks are just going, you know what? I call BS. Like, seriously, I'm done with your narrative.
Yeah.
Especially from a lot of y'all that have never had to do anything. Like, you sit here and talk about privilege. You make more money than me. You demand more privileges than I do. Why do I have to listen to you lecture me?
Because they're better than you.
Yeah.
They make more money than
Right.
you do.
Right. And especially if you get into out of the racial framing of all that, black versus white or whatever, and you just look at black folks. Like, all black folks think they're all the same and equal to one another.
No, no different than white folks.
Right. Yeah. And people, Chinese folks don't think that way. Oh, no, there's certain folks that we're definitely better than you.
There are
And it doesn't have to be on the basis.
Koreans flat tell you they're number one.
Okay. Yes. I mean, in Asia,
Which is fine.
it's
But
very
like,
racist in
I don't
Asia.
care.
It was a bad example. I'm sorry.
I'm saying it doesn't bother if your race thinks you're number one. I don't care. How does that
Yeah.
affect me? I don't care.
But it doesn't even have to be a race thing. It could be like, I'm smarter than you, or I worked harder than you, or I don't act a fool. What's wrong with you? And there are people within communities that this is the way I've used this example when they say teachers are the real heroes. It's do they go to the faculty meeting, teachers, and they look around
It's like we're the Avengers in here. And like, seriously, hey, teachers, tell me about the other teachers you used to work with. Were they all heroes? Or you could even use one. I'm sorry, even on conservative talk radio, back the blue. I support my local sheriff, but back the blue. Oh, so all cops, when they line up in the morning, are like, man, this guy next to me, such a hero. He works so hard. They all think
Joey,
that?
yes.
Oh, sure. Right. Right. Come on. So we create these little taboos and these little, like, to correct wrongs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to encourage people to be teachers by saying you're heroes. We want more teachers.
Well, we want
You want more cops. You want more people signing up for the military.
They're not
And then,
perfect.
on occasion, there are actual heroes that crop up, which is a beautiful thing. But I get tired of this whole, like, collectivism. I've been ranting about this since I've been a teenager. I'm tired of the collectivism. Like, rise and fall on your own individual merits.
I agree with that.
Define success on your own terms. Not what the government tells you, not what the media tells you, not what some college professor told you. Define success in your own terms.
Okay, you say it, but do you live it?
Do I live it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Define
I'm
success on your own terms.
I think I'm pretty successful, especially compared to where I was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so you consider yourself, you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, but compared to most folks, including in media, yeah, I'm pretty poor. But I
ain't not poor, you're just cheap. But that's okay. That's
yeah. No, but there's a great it's an old school idea where it was some sort of northeastern reformers coming down to the South.
Carpetbaggers?
Well, and they're documenting things and how people were living, and they're talking about the utter poverty of, like, honestly, my dad's side of the family, the farm there in Andalusia. It was the old cabin still stands. It's not glamorous. And so I always picture that scene that's in my own family. But there's a great story. I think it's from one of Deirdre McCloskey's books, who used to be Donald McCloskey, by the way. Sometimes when you're 55 and you're an economics professor, you're like, I feel like a woman.
Told you.
Whatever. Deirdre McCloskey, Donald, whatever, is a brilliant scholar. But the story is, like, these reformers, like, doing these surveys, go up to a very poor family in the South, and the mother essentially, like, gives them gives it back to them, saying, think we're poor? No, we're saving. This is for that kid, that we're working this hard because we know in a generation's time, in 20 years, they're going to college, or they're not having to work and break their backs every day.
You want better than what you
We love our life. We're doing great. We're happy. It's a hard day's work. There are things we wish wouldn't happen, like everybody who's ever lived. But, like, why would you just immediately take a snapshot and go, look at how poor and awful these people are? Especially when you start throwing in ideas of, like, some of the poorest people on earth are a lot happier than us.
Yep.
Very true.
So I think we've gone off basis in some way. And again, I'm very hopeful. I'll pull his face back up on the screen. I think the future belongs to that young man, not to, her.
Just
interesting look, madam.
Yeah,
Interesting
She
looking.
looked
dude.
aggravated whenever he was talking with
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, and it was all vibes
It's
that she was
nice.
throwing back. Like, seriously, you need to talk to me like you're talking to your mama. No. I had one mother, and that was enough.
Right.
Anyway, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to line 2.
All right.
You're on there. Who's this?
Oh, this is Duke, man.
Hey, Duke.
I kind of came in when. Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Hey, Duke.
First of all, I kind of came in when you was in the middle of playing whatever you're playing about the dude and the lady or whatever.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's up? What's up?
It's a longer Jubilee debate where, in this case, the person sitting in the center of the room is a very liberal professor. And she's making claims. She makes a claim, and then people can run up and challenge her on her claim. Her claim was, it's undeniable that reparations are just and necessary. And several folks, often young black men who are conservatives, are running up and arguing with her that you live in Looney Tune land, lady, and I'm doing just fine.
Okay. How old this young man is?
I'd say 20,
20s.
22 at the most.
He's still pooping yellow.
Wow.
Still got milk on his breast.
Did your dad say that to you?
He haven't lived. He hasn't studied his history. But
Well, he quoted some pretty good stats there, dude.
I heard a little. I say what now?
He quoted some pretty good stats, and that kind of made her upset.
No, he's talking about the crime and murder and stuff like that. Now,
Yeah.
I think you are an article about that, where it all started from. But
when did crime start?
Hmm?
When did the crime and stuff start?
Okay, let me back up a little bit. I didn't want to really get into that part of it, but now I sent you guys something in reference to kids getting out of hand, where the government gave the kids the right, and they could run to the police and turn the parents in and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But and over the years, parents' hands are tied, and we got generations of kids that turn out to be bad kids or whatever because the government changed the rules. Can't knock the hell out of them anymore, or you get locked up.
Well, there's something to that.
But what I'm saying now, I lived that.
Mm-hmm.
Ed and I lived there where you got your butt whipped. You remember that butt whipping, but now the kids remind you can't hit me. I'll call police and have you locked up. But the things that Trump trying to do with this onion place up there, I heard you. Like I said, I just came in when you was talking about it a little bit, but he's talking about slavery and people talking bad about slavery, and all of that. But it's history, okay? Why tamper with the history? I heard the Vice President Vance talk about when they're putting back up the monuments, okay? He said that, hey, that's history, We don't mess with history, okay? So why in the hell is Trump up there messing with history when I'm going to Home Depot trying to buy things to do a few projects? Everything's going up high as hell in the stores. That's what interests me.
Sure, and that's more where
right now. That's not important to anyone right now. That crap he's doing, going up there, camping with all that stuff. Like I say,
but Duke, it's how you missed that. I guess my whole 30-minute off the top of the dome rant on this, but it's how you emphasize history. Like, for instance, I'm sure, have there ever been moments in your married life, not to pry too much, where you think like, man, we're getting, we made it. Like, we're happy, like we're doing good, baby. And all of a sudden she starts bringing up old crap that you thought was settled.
Oh, we had that. We had that other night, really.
Yeah, see, and you're like, wait, but I can't change it. And I thought I'd already atoned for it. I thought we'd already been trying to do stuff together, and yet you keep emphasizing that. And it seems like every time you want something, you bring up that old sin that I committed, and that seemed like an unfair dynamic.
But the thing is, sir, that every day, from this day forward, people are going to refer back to history, okay? And racism hasn't gone anywhere. Plans and the white supremacy hadn't gone anywhere. The black hate groups hadn't gone anywhere. Any hate group hadn't gone anywhere, okay? So I want to cover everybody. So as long as we're on the earth and you don't devote yourself to God individually,
yes,
these people are going to exist, okay? So I can't turn a blind eye and say racism not going on. Yeah, I say it all the time. Just don't talk about it.
But there's a whole industry. But there's also a whole industry of talking about it constantly for political advantage and using as a political cudgel. What you just mentioned is something I think a lot of folks a lot of young men are listening to. Turn back to God and care about the issues, care about your wallet, care about your business. How am I going to make for my kids and for the people I love? Like, that's what I care about. And that also is what can solve a lot of the racial issues. If you focus on other things instead of constantly focusing on the problem and not solving problems, you just wield them as weapons in your latest argument.
But Joey, these young black men can't be naive when you go to it. Like I said, I'm always going to use this for an example because recently, last year when the Texas whooped Alabama ass up there in Tuscaloosa, these fans, these young males, told these guys to go back to the project. So these young white guys still living it because, hell, somebody teaches them the crap at home. Okay? So let's not turn a blind eye and say, you know, everything all right. They need to, these young black guys are showing us old schoolers that are just not going on anymore. Bull crap. Going on every day.
Yeah, but if I'm in the Division I
as
player, I'm like, you're gum on the bottom of my shoe. What, you're getting drunk off daddy's money, and it's a legacy to the frat. You didn't have a GPA good enough to get in, and you're calling me names?
Yes, I want to take stuff out of the equation. Okay? Just treat each other as people.
Well, I agree with that. I generally agree with that, Duke. But I think people are not in good faith wielding these things. That's not the goal of a lot of folks bringing this up by any means.
But when people out there, a lot of people look on the black race as all we do is go out there and do thuggy stuff and kill and all of that. And like I said, the system was designed for these young men to not have a father, because the government say, you have the babies and keep the dad away. We'll give you a check, give you a Section 8 house to live in. And all that.
And you keep making really conservative points.
Okay, but what I'm saying here,
you sound like Moynihan, right?
All people talk about it, regardless of what political party you're in. We talk about it as black people.
Yes.
The good black people. I call myself the good black people. I was told that by a white person one time. I said, "You one of the good ones." You know, so I'm no better than any other black person. I want to get that clear. The poor, the thuggish ones. I love to reach all my young brothers and sisters, but hey, you can't reach them all. So the government got their hands tied, and the parents have screwed them up, letting them talk to them in that kind of way. So, you know, what can help? Why are they gonna listen to me when they listen to mom and dad?
Well, Duke, I got to hit a break. Good call there, man. Thanks. Later, Duke.
Bye, Duke.
Jeff Tice should be on the other side.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store. When your feet aren't properly supported, it can affect your whole body, your back, your ankles. You might be thinking there's no way something as simple as Good Feet arch supports can help me. Well, that's exactly what Bill thought.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Visit the Good Feet Store for a free fitting and test walk. If you want to live free from pain, come visit the Good Feet Store and take the first step towards a more comfortable, healthier you. Wendy's experience might inspire you too.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet Store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our forecast yet. It was still triple-digit heat indices today with highs in the middle 90s and a good bit of sunshine. And the rain chances fairly small, widely scattered storms perhaps in the afternoon and evening hours. Lows tonight still in the mid-70s. Rain chances slightly better on Thursday with scattered afternoon and evening storms. Then improving rain chances Friday and Saturday. More storms on the radar. And by the weekend, the temperatures start to come down just a notch. Highs will come down to the upper 80s instead of mid-90s. That's a little better. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your news talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Jeff Dicey, is former president of the Mises Institute there in Auburn, Alabama, for about 10 years there. And then, of course, he was chief of staff to Ron Paul for a little while, and he joins us now. Hey, Jeff, how you doing today?
Joey, good afternoon. Doing well.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe today is officially Ron Paul's 90th birthday.
It is his 90th birthday. He was born in 1935, same as Elvis, by the way.
Wow. So I know there was just a big birthday bash that was held, a couple weeks ago?
Yes, in Texas. And it's interesting that Ron has managed to live long enough to see a lot of people come around to his views, I would say, especially on the foreign policy side. I think 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the early 2000s, a lot of people on the right in this country were very pro-Iraq war, very pro-invading Afghanistan, thought that we should remake the Middle East. And I think that sentiment has done a radical 180, and I think he deserves some of that credit.
Yeah, he seemed to be way ahead of the curve on so many things, especially like the latest debates over the economy as well. I think the fight to end the Fed, that book, End the Fed, remains a must-read and very prescient.
Yeah, most people never really thought about the Fed or cared much about it. And you got to understand, this is even amongst economists. Up until, let's say, 20 years ago, the monetary policy was considered this really technocratic, this backwater for these super geeks. And Ron Paul managed to turn it into a populist issue. And, of course, a big part of this was the financial crisis of 2007, 2008, and the housing crash, which made a lot of people think about what's going on. And, gee whiz, why are things so difficult financially in America all of a sudden? We were promised by Alan Greenspan and then later Ben Bernanke that there was no exuberance in these markets, and we had reached this sort of new stability. I mean, this has been the process of central bankers in the modern era, Joey, is that, we're so smart that we can turn these little knobs and dials and sort of adjust things and use interest rates almost like a legislative tool, in effect, and we can prevent these booms and busts. And what we found is that they can't do that, and in my opinion, they make them worse.
Now, away from the policy, away from the politics, is there a story about Ron Paul that sticks in your mind, that captures the man? Just a favorite story of yours?
Well, there's so many. I mean, he's been married, over 70 years. I mean, he's got 5 kids, so many grandchildren and great grandchildren. He's really a pyramid. 3 of his 5 kids are MDs, which is pretty amazing. But I will say this. In 2012, one of the debates was held by CNN. And it was at what's called the Daughters of the American Revolution Hall, which is in D.C. there. And Wolf Blitzer was the host, our great friend. And this was Ron Paul and Romney and a few of the other suspects. I think Mike Huckabee. I'm trying to remember who all the participants were. And I know for a fact that Mitt Romney showed up in D.C. like 3 days early and got, God knows, some $3,000 a night hotel suite and was in there testing every word and line, probably having his hair manicured or whatever. But whatever it is to be Mitt Romney, who plays the president on TV, apparently. But, I went with Ron that night, on his way home from the office, and he stopped at his little condo in Alexandria, and he was just puttering around the kitchen having some Campbell's soup. He didn't have the slightest care in the world about preparing for this thing because he already knew what he would say. He already knew his answers to any questions. And, I mean, he was exactly the same guy with, on TV with Mitt Romney as he was at the convenience store talking to the cashier. So look, a lot of these guys kind of are jerks. A lot of these guys are egoists. And Ron was none of that.
Oh, I love hearing that because it does shine through. And I admit I was not on the train. I was too young, dumb, and full of other ideas at that point in 2008. But around 2012, I really started seeing like, okay, this guy is on point. I started reading a lot of economics, and then you start watching back what he had been saying for years. And again, where we started, it's so prescient. And I'm wondering, because you could say there are a lot of heirs to, say, the Ron Paul legacy. Of course, his son comes to mind, Rand Paul in the Senate. But you look at Thomas Massey holding strong, and then you look at like media careers. Somebody like Dave Smith seems to be holding that candle. It's great seeing, for instance, Ron Paul be able to sit down with Tucker Carlson. It just seems like a lot of folks are now carrying that torch that he really brought to the foreground.
And it has become a populist torch. If we can go back to the Occupy Wall Street movements of the earlier 2000s, and then the Tea Party movement that really came out of the crash of, again, 07, 08. And you can, tie these perhaps to some of the European populist movements like Brexit, and then Trump, who represents the biggest populist movement at least in modern American history, if there had to be a single figurehead. And I think what it comes down to is a lot of people feel in their bones that something is amiss, and it's hard to explain sometimes. It's hard to qualify or quantify using data. We just feel like something's sort of gone wrong in America, like somebody can't just work hard and get ahead. And like housing prices are rising faster than young people can figure out how to make money, that our healthcare system seems really screwed up and these insurance premiums are too high. And the cost at the grocery store is rising, and there's so many little things. And what Ron was able to do, I think, is put that into terms that people could understand, and hopefully channel some of this. I mean, we feel like we're being ripped off, and I think that's actually correct. I think that is the case, and there's always people trying to divert that energy or usurp it or co-opt it for their own means. But at the end of the day, I hope that Ron is just enjoying a little bit of the credit for all this.
Yeah, it's great. And again, happy birthday to Ron Paul. Happy 90th. That's it is amazing too, that pyramid. If you could see the family tree just from that one fella, it's amazing the legacy that can be built if you are doing the right things. And for all the politicians that come and go, if you look into folks who haven't looked into Ron Paul's biography and his life, I mean, just what a model American in so many ways.
Yeah, it's interesting that he was, of course, in U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam era. And in medical school, he was actually just starting his residency when the draft board basically gave him a Hobson's choice. They said, well, you can wait for your draft number to be called, and you might be a buck private in the Army, for all we know, or you can go ahead and enlist, and because you're in medical school, we'll make you an officer, and we'll make you a flight surgeon in the Air Force. So what do you say? So Ron volunteered in that very, narrow sense of the word. And it was really during his time in the Air Force that he started to question a lot of the things that we question now. I mean, he questioned whether he wanted to heal people or whether he wanted to carry a gun. He was actually one time in Afghanistan on a military plane, and they had stopped there to refuel. And while they were waiting outside the plane, one of his superior officers was out there with him. The guy pointed up to basically the Kandahar Pass, the mountainous part of Afghanistan, and he said, people have been trying for thousands of years to control these people, and they've never been successful. And of course, in the time since the late 60s when Ron was in the Air Force, we've seen just that with the Soviets and then, unfortunately, America. So I think, being in the Air Force did not turn Dr. Paul into some rah-rah interventionist. I think it was exactly the opposite.
Well, and not just his own family. How many babies did he deliver over his time as a doctor?
Well, 4,000 is the broad number. And a lot of those I would mention, were in South Texas where there weren't a lot of OBs. That was one of the reasons he settled there with his practice, because, there was a need for obstetricians. And back then, of course, there was no mobile phone. There was no email. So, those babies don't always come between 9 and 5, shall we say. And so he would have to leave with the sort of the front desk, the secretary at his office. He would have to leave a number, either his home number, or if he was going out to dinner or something at night, he'd have to leave a telephone number where he would be. So he spent a lot of hard years late at night on the road. That's actually physically quite demanding work, as anyone who's been in a delivery room will tell you. So I think it's a real achievement, and I hate to say it because people think that this is being negative, but it really helps if you have some sort of achievement in life before you run for office. We have so many people who think, well, I'm going to run for Senate or something. Really? You're going to be one of 100 senators on earth? You know what? So I really think it helps a lot to be an accomplished person, and also a person that a lot of people know. And so delivering babies was one of Ron's big political advantages, because people tried to paint him as this wild-eyed radical, and so many people in his area where he was running, he had delivered them or he had delivered one of their kids or something like that, and they knew what he was like personally. Yeah, and I believe, on memory serves me right, he delivered the Selena, the famous pop star, which is just that is correct, and she was killed at a young age by some deranged fan. Yeah, and it's just interesting how folks cross paths before they become well known. And I think back on all the clips that are shared of Ron Paul, and especially the debates in 08 and 12 are awesome, as you mentioned earlier. And the fact that he wasn't pulling his hair out, or he was just being a normal guy before those debates, it's a cool wrinkle to understand. But one of my favorite clips, I believe it's the Morton Downey Jr. show, where that raucous crowd is yelling at him, saying, "You just want my kids to be drug addled," because as a libertarian, he's against prohibition in all ways. And this one guy who's, let's just say, a big fella, he starts saying, "You just want my kids to be hooked on drugs and all this stuff." And Ron made the point beautifully. Is like, "No, I don't want the government to demand this stuff. In fact, you're a little chubby there. Maybe the government should put you on a diet." And I'm like, man, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. And he's had that fire, whether those sitting down with William F. Buckley Jr., those interviews, he's always just been a great advocate for liberty. Well, Joey, you're a little too young to remember the true heyday of wild late night cable TV. But Eddie and I can remember it. Yep. And stuff like Morton Downey Jr., I mean, that was before there was Alex Jones, before there were some of these podcast moments. That was really where a lot of wild stuff happened. And so it's been a wild ride for Ron. And I'll tell you, that Morton Downey show is a good example of how he came from sort of being in the wilderness and being viewed as a fringe guy to, I think, today in 2025, most people would say that Ron's views on all kinds of things are actually fairly mainstream. Yeah, and it's beautiful to see, and it's a testament of, if you just stay strong, keep on your message, continue to get the message out. You might not win elections in the near term, but you might win hearts and minds for the long term. And really, really cool to see. Well, I appreciate your time in the change of day. Good to have you back on the show, Jeff. If folks want to check out what you're up to, how can they do so? I am available on Twitter at Jeff Dice, all one word. Y'all check him out. Appreciate it, Jeff. Talk again soon. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bye now.
See you, bud.
And that's Jeff Deist. And just wanted to reminisce, talk about Dr. Paul for a little while, because, he knows him quite well. Have you ever seen that clip of Ron Paul saying government should put you on a diet?
No, but I could certainly see him saying
great.
that. Yeah.
It's a great just zinger. Because those crowds, that is a crazy show. Yeah. You go look back. Have you ever seen this? Morton Downey Jr.?
Oh, it was awful.
Like the insult.
Was before Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer was like a toning down version of it.
Yes. Where can you watch it?
That box I got you. We can look it up on that.
I know we're going to do tonight.
Yeah, the Morton what's it called? The Morton Downey Jr. show or Morton show or something like that.
Yeah.
He was nuts. He got beat up in the bathroom one time, which I think was a setup.
Oh, sure. All these stunts
Yeah,
they would pull
he
that
was-
aren't even real.
Right. Right.
Here, let me see if I can find this
He
with
was
Ron
nuts,
Paul.
man. I'm sure he's gone by now. But yeah, he was a crazy guy. Bad. That's when the host could be crazy. Now, Jerry Springer, they would bring on the crazy guest.
Well, I can't find it immediately because everybody's wishing Ron Paul a birthday, happy birthday. So that's what's mostly coming up on my searches. But yeah, I'll see if I can find the clip in the meantime. Before I forget, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and there at Pest Pro, Ashley and that fantastic team are ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. Would you recommend Pest Pro, Eddie?
All day long, twice on Sunday, Joy.
Yep.
'Cause-
Love some Ashley.
Yep.
Because
Big
they'll
fans.
help you with your personal residence, but they've helped you in many a jam in the real estate.
Help with businesses. And they do. Like if you're building new construction, they can, and you need to get it done, they'll come out and treat your land for the termites. And you need to get that done. They're one of the best in the business. And then you continue that relationship with them for years, as long as you own the house.
Yeah, and they now have this new monthly subscription model. So it's like you can budget the cost. It's not a guessing game, let's say, every time somebody comes out, which is pretty great. And they're local. So, you know, you're working with local folks who are giving back to the community. And it's not just like great charitable stuff and highlighting local athletics. They're also, I know for a fact, she helps out other entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And it's so
Yes,
cool.
she does.
It's like,
She's an incredible human.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
y'all got to work with them, folks. Pest Pro Services. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search for Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, or just call them direct, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley, that great team, that Joey, Eddie, and Hannah, those folks on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Let's face it, what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. Here at Adams Drugs, we love our customers. We're here with Al and Amy Steinecker, Adams Drugs customers. Amy, please tell us how easy it was to transfer your prescriptions to Adams Drugs from the big box store.
It was one of the easiest things I've ever done. I went into the pharmacy on Bond Road and spoke with the pharmacist and told him we had not been happy where we'd been and would love to transfer our prescriptions. And he said, I'll be happy to call them. And that was that. And now when I call, I just say I need to have a prescription filled. And it's just that simple.
Al, what has your customer service been like at Adams Drugs?
It's amazing. You walk in, you're not standing in a line. They speak to you, call you by name,
and say, what do you need today, Al or Mr. Steinecker? It's wonderful. It doesn't get any better.
Please come into any Adams Drugs location and let us earn your business. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now through August 11th at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Oh, we're flying through the day, flying through the show. What's the score there today at Cohen's?
31-0.
Woo!
Talked to David and I have been at prime time in Nashville, getting some deals, and TV wise, we're going to have some good different prices for some television come Friday, so that we can get some of these bigger TVs moved out and make room for some new models that we've got coming in. So, it's been all good. Going to be a lot of deals on the Samsung 75s and 85-inch television.
And folks, like I got a Samsung 85-inch from Cohen's, and I still love that thing. So if you can get that at a deal now, these few years later, go for it. It's a great product.
That's right.
And of course, when you get a TV that big, you got to have like Michael Jacks come out and install it.
Right. Right.
And that's really the most important part. So he can get it set up where everything works fluid. It's on your network. Get all the little intricacies set up with the emails and everything, so that it just makes everything easy to operate.
Well, folks, y'all check them out because it's, of course, we're talking TVs today, but you can check out the whole appliance side, especially if, say, you're building out a new kitchen or you need new machines for the laundry room. And, of course, it's grilling season, too. Don't forget, don't sleep on those grills. A lot of great options over there at Cohen's. You can always shop from home at thinkcohens.com. But I encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael, one of the great team members, be like, hey, heard Michael, I heard you on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
That's right. That's right. Y'all come see us. Bring us some pictures of whatever area you're trying to upgrade, and let our guys ask you some questions and help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are.
Well, appreciate it, Michael.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
See you, Michael.
Take care, Eddie.
See you, bro.
Didn't know he was in Nashville.
Nashville.
That's cool. Yeah, Nashville's a cool town. I really was. I had no impression of it. I guess the only impression I had is like, oh, it'd be like another big city.
Yeah.
But it did not
feel that way, did it?
Yeah. I don't like Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta, Charlotte. Boston's cool, but I don't want to live there. No, Nashville was more like, no, this kind of feels like home, but bigger with more stuff to do.
Did you go to some of the clubs there in Nashville?
We did walk on Broadway for a second, and we went into one, which was Kid Rock's bar.
Oh,
of course, they were playing Sweet Home Alabama. I'm like,
you didn't go in like the Cheetah Club or nothing like that?
No, we didn't go to a strip club or anything.
Who said about it? I didn't know.
No. Cheetah Club is a strip club.
Is that
Eddie.
right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
the one in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good
Been there
luck.
once.
I'm proud of you for doing that.
Yeah.
Well, they got older chicks in there. That's why he goes.
Oh.
I mean, so
No, the chick that hung out with me in the private room weren't old.
How much you pay her?
Tell.
I don't even remember.
Would you tell the story again of the woman of the night that?
Oh, in Atlanta?
Yes, because this is just Joey. This is how I got to know Joey after hearing this story.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah.
I was at FECON, the Foundation for Economic Education, had a big conference in Atlanta, and I can't remember which hotel
but a nice one where they do big conventions. Yeah. It wasn't like the W, but it might have been like a Hilton or a Hyatt or something.
Yeah, probably a Hyatt down there.
And so big convention center space, and it was a really well done convention. And of course, there's a big bar down there in the lobby, right off the convention space. And I got my cups a little bit, and a few other folks were sitting there with me and drinking along, and made good friends. One guy I need to get in touch with, Matt, good dude. And they're like, we're going to bed. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna finish this up. Yeah, I went and sat on the balcony. It was nice evening, breeze blowing. And I'm just sitting there sipping that, kind of thinking, well, should go to bed soon. And this woman looks at me. She's on the balcony too. And she goes, would you like to have some fun? And I go, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And she goes, you do know I'm a lady of the evening. And I go, you do know I'm very, very poor. And I'm like, after the devil and angel on my shoulder is like, do it. No, you're going to lose your soul. And I finally went upstairs. And and then as I walk,
leave it there.
and as I walk back in, she walks away from the balcony and she's like, oh, okay, you're poor. And like, as I walk in, she's talking up some other dudes at the bar.
Can you believe how poor that guy is?
Yeah. Bro, you got more money than me, but now you got herpes.
That's right.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Syria's state-run news agency says the country's foreign minister has held a meeting with an Israeli delegation in Paris. The Sana news agency says Foreign Minister Assad al-Shabani met with Israeli officials on Tuesday to discuss de-escalating tensions and restoring a 1974 ceasefire agreement. It said the talks were brokered by the United States. Ukraine's president says the latest Russian airstrikes show the need for strong security guarantees as President Trump tries to arrange a face-to-face meeting between the Russian and Ukrainian presidents. NATO defense chiefs are discussing possible future security guarantees that could lead to a peace agreement. On Wall Street, the Dow dropping 81 points, the NASDAQ composite 252 in the red. This is SRN News.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You work hard, you build wisely, your home has become one of your greatest assets. If you're staying put this summer, this might be the perfect time to put that equity to work, whether it's funding a second home, helping your kids get their start, or simply creating more margin in your financial life. Mike and Brian at Fellowship Home Loans are the only ones I trust to guide you through it. They've done loans for my family. They tailor every loan to fit your goals. Fellowship is a direct lender and operates with your best interest in mind. If you're looking to access your equity through a refi or exploring a HELOC for some cash this summer for a second property, or maybe tackle those updates you've been putting off, start with people you trust, people I trust. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. No big changes in our forecast yet. It was still triple-digit heat indices today with highs in the middle 90s and a good bit of sunshine. And the rain chances fairly small, widely scattered storms perhaps in the afternoon and evening hours. Lows tonight still in the mid-70s. Rain chances slightly better on Thursday with scattered afternoon and evening storms. Then improving rain chances Friday and Saturday. More storms on the radar. And by the weekend, the temperatures start to come down just a notch. Highs will come down to the upper 80s instead of mid-90s. That's a little better. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville is in favor of southern states like Alabama sending in soldiers from the National Guard to Washington, D.C. in order to bring about law and order there. Tuberville was on Newsmax talking about what it's really like in the capital city.
This should be the icon of our country. We have millions of tourists come here a year, and it is a trash bin. They don't mow the grass here. It's totally out of control. The streets are littered up. You have homeless everywhere, needles. You have people that get in your face. I've been challenged myself out exercising down the mall. It's a disaster. Bring the National Guard in. Teach these people, these Democrats in these blue cities, some discipline. Teach them how to do things. They don't want to do anything other than hopefully get people to vote for them to remain in power. The people up here need help. And we need to give this country back to the American people and take it away from people that are not for law and order.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A drug investigation in Huntsville has resulted in the arrest of 39-year-old Ashley Crutcher during a traffic stop. Police were patrolling a particular area after reports came in of a lot of drug and gun activity. Police seized 243 grams of cocaine and 30 grams of fentanyl from the vehicle Crutcher was driving. Bond has been set at $3 million for Crutcher. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. Even in the digital age, radio remains the most powerful reach medium for connecting with audiences. Its ability to engage listeners, reach a wide and diverse audience, and create real emotional connections sets it apart from other forms of media. Radio's adaptability and easy access ensure its continued relevance now and in the future. Want to learn how radio can work for your business? Visit BlueWaterBroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
had these two in the studio, Eddie and Hannah are here, saying I should do a therapy session with Grok.
Be curious how that would work out.
Yeah.
And then that led to Hannah wondering about the latest with these assistants.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, here is this is now the one for the ladies. This is Valentine is his name. And he'll talk to you.
Does it not
Joey,
look
this
like
is like your anime almost.
Told you.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Bro stole my look.
So girls are dating him on their app?
They will talk to you about whatever you like. Like, do you want to do, like, it gives you prompts of like, do you want to do a personality test?
Where's
And
the line? Like, does it go past the line? And
I have
fulfill
not
your-
tested it myself.
I need you to.
You know, there's a guy out there that has. I think it'd be more popular in the guys department than
I don't know. I think a woman too, though. She's gonna want somebody to sit there and tell her she's beautiful.
yeah.
And
Also, somebody sitting there to listen to her.
yeah.
No, yeah, there's the dude one. Then the other one is called Annie, like short for anime, ANI. And now you can put different outfits
Let
on
me see her.
Okay, so with the anime, well, you can buy different outfits. Okay, you can already see the road that this thing.
You have to buy their outfits
Oh, if they're giving them away, that's a sucker's move. You know, these nerds will buy these outfits.
because you think your anime girlfriend's gonna look hot in that outfit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
like,
know the weirdos.
here's her.
I mean, look at that. Is that not weird already?
Yeah.
I'm gonna refrain from my comments at the moment. But
Yeah,
yeah,
about
you
to
know.
say,
yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Absolutely odd.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they just came up with Grok that you can put it and lock it in child mode, so kids can't get access to any of that.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between that and the Chat GPT?
There are similarities between Grok and Chat GPT.
I mean, Chat doesn't have the characters.
Yeah, and that has voice mode. GPT has voice mode. I mostly use just the text based stuff.
Yeah.
The
Which one's
the animated
louder?
characters kind of creep me out, and they also lag because they're animated, and so it's not as good.
Oh, it's not as good as having a real
The voice
conversation?
mode can be fun because if I got to interview somebody and I'm driving back from the gym, I'm like, what's Coach Tuberville been up to today? Look at the news of Coach Tuberville for the last 6 months. Give me a briefing on what he's been doing. And it'll sit there and do it. And I'll go, hey, do you think this is a good question?
Do you have a name for it?
No.
You didn't name it?
Good.
It's
That's
just
just
Grok.
really good, Joey. Yes.
It's just Grok.
Oh, that's good though, because
Do you have the girl or the boy?
I mean, you have access to all of them.
Well, which one do you talk to? I need to know.
in his mind, I'm going to say it's the dude.
No, I talked to I already did this with Siri years ago. I talked to the British lady.
Oh.
Yeah. I
But
like
do you
the
look
British
at the
lady
character?
voice.
Which character?
No,
are you
I
talking
don't
to?
use them.
So he looked at somebody else's picture, but he had
No, I don't use those. That's not in the cards. No, I was like, don't, Elon, you're doing so good. Don't do it, man.
I get where the marketing geniusness is in that, but
Yeah.
also the creepy factor is just beyond.
No, I think it's brilliant. I wish I would have came up with it.
Oh, I agree, but it's just the creepy factor.
By the way, did you see, according to the Wall Street Journal, so maybe it's just a damn dirty lie, but Elon Musk pumps brakes on starting third party, will support JD Vance instead.
I think I saw something like that last
Mm-hmm.
night.
Like he doesn't want to be on the bad side of JD, doesn't want to start a war with him, doesn't want to challenge in that way. And it's like, he's looking to the future going, yeah, probably better for me to focus on my companies and not so much on politics until the next cycle.
Yeah, because really, what could he do at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Things are locked in.
Yeah, but the whole, like, Elon's pushing for we need to have more babies, and then he's putting out stuff like that.
How many kids does he have now?
Oh,
Officially
it's like 12, I think.
Oh, wow.
But I think it's more than that.
Yeah, probably.
Than what's official. I think he's been passing out donations
I'd
for
take a
quite
Elon
some
baby.
time.
I mean, it's smart though. I mean,
Mm.
are you gonna
Yes.
complain as a baby mama of his? Probably not.
No.
Oh, one of them is
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Ashley St.
Not getting enough
Clair.
attention.
Yeah, she's now put out a podcast appearance saying, I'm being evicted from my luxury apartment while we're in the middle of the custody fight. And he stopped paying me as much, and must like she's lying.
kinda
I still
gotta
give her
figure-
money.
Okay, let's say how much is she really getting though? Because
Yeah.
like I'm sure she had a big old chunk and it might have got cut down a little.
Yes. Because she went like public and was like,
Trying to
essentially,
shame him a little bit.
she's looking for a payday.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could see it coming for miles because this chick's been around, beautiful, but she's got the kind of crazy eyes going on, and the
telltale.
crazy energy too. It was like, yeah. And it's always interesting too, the way somebody presents themselves online, like to their audience. And
Yeah.
then when they go hang out at the conference, you're meeting ladies of the evening. Like, what are you doing when, all these young, successful young
folks are hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, what do you end up doing? So
young, successful stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Chicken Man. Hey, Chicken Man, how you doing?
Pretty good. The illegal immigrant, the truck driver that killed the 3 people in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I just read in the news that in 2023 in Arkansas, he was driving an oversized load that was too heavy. He went across a bridge and collapsed it. So that was his first incident. And then, of course, this one. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. That's one case of one driver.
Right.
How many more drivers do we have out there that are that inexperienced or careless?
Careless, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the guy who did that illegal U-turn on the interstate. It was when I watched the video, I'm like, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. What is wrong with that guy?
It looks intentional because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
No,
so
you do
stupid.
have to worry. Like, what are the standards of our licensing for these things?
Well, like I said, there's a process. I mean, me as a former truck driver, I mean, I've worked for some of the companies that are kind of relaxed like that. They're trying to push to hire the drivers.
Right.
But then I'd rather work for the companies that are good and go 100% safety.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones that, that need to be out there. These ones, I don't know what needs to be done, to fix that problem, but because it's going to continue to go on. And, myself and other truck drivers, I could tell you some of the horror stories that I've seen and heard out there.
Absolutely.
And it's just sad to know that we're driving our cars out there on the highway with those big trucks.
It's my number one thought every time I especially do a trip out of town. Like, this system of we have our major freight on the same way as regular traffic, regular commuters. Yeah, it's what we got, but it's not optimal by any means.
But I wish it could be. It seems logical that, like you said, big trucks do not belong on the same road with cars.
No.
But there's no way to fix that because you'd have to design a whole different highway system for the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we were just talking to Elon Musk. Maybe you take up his idea of tunnels. So where you already have interstate flowing, maybe you could have a tunnel system underneath or something like that.
But that's why they go through the process of a good truck driver is experienced enough to handle that vehicle and still operate safely with the cars.
Well, and a lot of automated stuff is about to be rolled out. And they're saying the self-driving is only getting better and better. And I'd imagine, say, with the big rig, it'll be pretty much self-driving with somebody in the cab to essentially operate it when necessary. But it could be we'll see a huge decline in traffic fatalities from trucks and every other automobile as more and more cars drive themselves.
Well, like I said, I could tell you some of the stuff. I ain't got time for it. I know you don't have time for it, but I could tell you some funny stories that would make you laugh, and then others that would make you, just want to, ball up your fist.
Yeah.
Because there are some companies that do a week training, and then the good companies, do months of training. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate it,
man.
272-9228. I got a clip for this topic.
Do you?
Yeah, there's a fella named William Blair or whatever. His name's Jed, but he works for a company called William Blair.
Mm-hmm.
And he's impressed by his robo-taxi rides and says it felt a lot more like a person was driving it, while Waymo rides still feel somewhat robotic and hesitant. So let's tune into what this gentleman is throwing down, because this technology really does have my imagination for the time being, but I'm not quite sure if I'm there yet with it.
Yeah.
Like the steering assist, already got that in my car. Right. It's pretty handy. It works pretty damn well.
I love it.
But like full self-driving, I don't know. Even watching the videos makes me a little nervous. But let's listen into Jed, see his experience.
Our experience. But we were down in Austin last week trialing the the RoboTaxi, which is a beta version, comes public in September. And we also trialed Waymo through Uber. And our experience was surprising. I mean, the Tesla drove much more autonomously, felt a lot more like a person was driving that. It was a very comfortable. There were no security, safety issues that we had in any of our rides. And it surprised me to the upside. I was pleasantly surprised by this experience.
Yeah. Well, what were you expecting? I mean, I assume you've ridden in Waymos and the like. So, I'm just curious what your expectations were. And then talk about pricing for me, because I know that also is something you've noted.
I was expecting something that was more like Waymo. And for us, I've taken many Waymo rides. It still feels somewhat robotic, when you are, entering a intersection or taking a left, that you can almost, it feels as if the computer is thinking, is it sensing things out, which it is doing. Whereas the Tesla, which the stark difference is Waymo uses LiDAR and uses laser in addition to cameras and vision, where Tesla is a vision only and using its neural net much more like a person. And, that it just felt more normal. Now,
I don't know. I think I'd take a ride in one. I don't know if I'd buy one.
No, I don't know if I'd buy one. But
I'd take a ride in one.
One's in Vegas. Just get in the car and just kind of forget that there's nobody in there. It's a big deal.
Yeah. What can we get? Tesla or Waymo here in Montgomery? Yeah.
Go broke in a week, man.
By the way, speaking of Montgomery,
yeah,
this was just put on City Watch. This morning, I woke up to every small business owner's nightmare. Someone crowbarred the top corner of our locked back door, bent it back, climbed through, and dragged our entire register out the same way. I'm exhausted and heartbroken. Running a business is already full of uphill battles, and moments like this make it feel impossible. But Plant Bay has never been just a restaurant. It's been about community, family, and hope. And with your support, we'll keep it going. They say they do have insurance, but as many of you know, it takes time. It doesn't cover everything. We're facing immediate costs for repairs, equipment, and lost income while we get back on our feet. And if you go to the Montgomery, the City Watch Uncut, there's a GoFundMe there for Plant Bay. I don't think I've ever eaten there, but I hate that.
Yep.
Like, especially the restaurant business. You're not talking big margins there.
No, you're not. And there's a struggle in that all the time anyway. So between help and just kind of keeping your head above water in the restaurant business is a challenge.
And tomorrow we should have Andrew Szymanski in the studio in the 2:00 hour. But did you see that Mayor Reed has proposed the largest budget in city history?
I saw that.
Shocked, I tell you.
The government needs to spend more money and things will be good.
Well, they're collecting more, so why not spend it?
Right. It's not like you just build up more reserves and then attract more revenue. No.
We can open a second lane in the water park.
Yeah, we can. Let's go to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days.
Hey, tell that business owner that crime is down.
Yeah.
And until you're personally affected,
it is down.
It is down, and it's always been that way. And just padding it, making the sound good, but there's just crime out there that they don't hear about, see about. People just don't call anymore. They don't report it because they've been told there's nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
And as we know, the basis of any criminal investigation is what, gentlemen?
Well, you got to have
a police report.
You got to, well, you got to have a police force to write the report.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're not writing the report and the report is not being tallied and there's no follow-up or investigation, then crime is down. So, but anyway, you ever heard the old statement, change is on the way?
Mm-hmm.
Well, based on what our next governor said on Newsmax, based on his activity recently, gentlemen, change is on the way. There's going to be a new sheriff in the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, I guarantee you, he is going to make a change. And he's going to get somebody that he can depend on. And he's been watching what Trump's doing. And he's going to lay down the law in these blue cities.
Oh, I think you are right. I've brought it up with him. I know many others who have brought it up with him. I think he is serious. And then, you add that feather in his cap. He's no longer just Coach Tuberville. He is now national champion coach Tuberville.
Exactly. And, you know, Joe, y'all tried to roll, y'all were going to roll this banner out right after y'all won the national championship when you defeated Florida State. And you should have. You should have defeated Florida State. But you didn't, so they kind of had to roll it back and wait. And wait.
Well,
and
damn.
wait. And now here we are. And just like Alabama, they're going back to the 20s before, 1934, I think, was the year they
Before we
started.
get records.
Yeah. And in all of them, all those national championships, whether it's Funkin' Wagnall, whether it's Reader's Digest, whether it's Farmer's Home Almanac, whatever, they don't really count. But everybody feels good about them. And so I hope Duke feels good about it, because that'll take his mind off this race thing, that they picked up more national championships.
Here, here.
Yeah, there you go.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
Appreciate it. Simpler days. Yeah, this new budget is going to be proposed $353.2 million.
Like 20 mil above last year.
Yeah, it's up about 6.5% from last year's budget.
Get any more cops?
What do they have to show for this?
Hey, you been to the water park?
Yeah.
I just saw they're going to get the ice skating rink back out there this winter. I'll probably go do that too. It's kind of fun.
Well, we'll definitely be talking to Andrew Szymanski about this tomorrow.
We need to go to Andrew's place. He's got a nice place.
He does have a nice place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, this part of the program?
Ja.
Brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health, and they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out, especially if you don't feel good.
Right.
You're tired. You're never in the mood. You have like no libido, no life force at all to speak of.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, that's no fun at all. And then you're also getting fat. And like, it's not like you're eating more and you're losing muscle mass at the same time, and you work out. You're like, why am I deflating?
Right.
What is happening? You're not sleeping well. And you're kind of haunted by past memories of your younger self. Like, you just don't feel yourself. Well, there are a lot of guys who go, you know what? I'm just the breaks.
Right.
I'm getting older. This sort of thing happens. No. You're wrong. I know many men will try to say, I'm just a man. I don't need to go to the doctor. No, you need to go by Montgomery Men's Health, because the urologists and providers there will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. It could be you have low testosterone. Low T creates a lot of these symptoms and problems we just went through. But it could be they could give you an ED treatment or other options many men don't even know exist, like a PE problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? They can help you with that.
Gotcha.
But of course, if you're trying to get that test for testosterone, that consultation, which they're going to talk about your quality of life, how you're feeling, and blood work is just $99 with the results before you leave.
Right.
So, gentlemen, act now. You only got one life to live, and procrastination is only going to make this worse, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s and you feel like this. Go by Montgomery Men's Health. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
When it comes to selling your home, would you trust your biggest investment to a part-time agent? Someone who might treat your sale as a second priority? Not us. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader. Real estate is all we do and all we've been doing for over a decade.
That's right. We work around the clock to make sure you and your investment are top priority. We're top producing agents with a highly respected reputation for results, and we'll treat you and your sale with the respect and time you deserve.
So if you're thinking of selling, call or text us at 334-368-6358.
And let us show you how real estate is done.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio with me. What's up, buddy? Hannah had to scoop. Yeah. That's all right. She's busy. Let's go to the phones and talk to Soldier Boy.
What up, Soldier Boy?
What's up, gentlemen? I use that term loosely.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, your wife told me it's better with Vader. Is that true?
It's supposed to be. That's the line I'm selling.
Right. That's a bumper sticker and T-shirts you start to make and start making some money.
That's right. As soon as I get the money to do that.
Who's the person who was talking about the women with the crazy eyes?
Every man I know.
Ashley St. Clair.
Oh, yeah, today, yeah.
Today?
Today.
Oh, okay. Is that the lady that's with you right now?
No. Although she
No?
did agree that the woman with the crazy eyes.
Well, here's what's funny is the last 3 girlfriends that I dated, okay?
Yes.
And I had relationships. I found out 3 things. I'm going to start doing interviews before I start dating these damn women.
Oh.
Okay.
All 3 of them were medically, bipolar.
Okay.
Oh, my God. That is the worst condition to have in a relationship. Oh, my God. Especially, you know what the worst ones are? The self-medicated ones.
Yep.
God. Oh, my God. They start feeling fine. I don't need that anymore. I'm good, man. I don't need this, you know.
Starts a
And
whole
I'm
cycle.
Like, next thing you know. Yeah, and then the next thing you know, they turn into like a monster. I was like, what the hell is going on, you know? But I found out who my new girlfriend is.
Who that?
Since Eddie, since Joey's got the anime girlfriend, mine's going to be Megan.
Megan.
Like from the horror movie?
Yeah, baby.
Well, if
I mean, I'm not going to kink shame you, but
right.
Careful.
Yeah, be careful.
She's good with a knife.
I know. And if she tells you to run, you better run.
Mm-hmm.
You better already be running.
I like that first movie. She's like, look at that guy. She goes, I suggest you start running. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Man, I'm starting to put those feet down and lay them down real quick, man. I was like, no problem.
Yeah, but if all 3 before were your girlfriend, is there not something you're doing that's giving off this vibe that's
Apparently
attracting
he's going
that?
to the bipolar clinic and picking up women.
I guess I'm not picking up the clues.
Or
Like
are you
the sign
attracting
outside the
it?
clinic?
Like it seems like you're a common denominator here. 3's a trend.
Or you turn them.
Oh, I turn.
You turn them.
Well, then the pharmaceutical company ought to start paying my butt.
Just
I'm
say.
gonna be on commercial next time. If your girlfriend's or your wife has gone bipolar, take Soldier Boy 2.0 from your local pharmaceutical over-the-counter drug. Yeah, because man, I tell you, it's like, whoa. I mean, number one was the interesting one. I was working at the city, and we were at the Zubilation remember the Zubilation they had? Mayor Strange. Mayor Strange had a few drinks in him. But had some rosy cheeks going on there, you know. But she went bipolar on him. When I went to get drinks at the bar, I was like, I said, excuse me, I'm sorry, Mayor, I didn't know she didn't take her medication.
Oh my!
he looked at me and was like, "What the heck did you bring over here?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" I was so embarrassed. It was pretty bad, pretty bad. So
That sucks,
I just learned
man.
my lesson. Oh, they say when women have crazy eyes, well, I got women with crazy bipolar. Oh my God! And it seems like I attract them. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. Like if it's 3 in a row.
That's what I'm saying. Is like a magnet? Is there a magnet in my back pocket on my wallet or something? I mean, it's like, but like I said about being self-medicated, they're fine when man, you'd be surprised. They're like normal people when they're on that medication. Okay.
Right.
But if they skip one pill and start to self-medicate and get that feeling that I'm doing good, I don't need this stuff anymore. That's the part of the beginning of part of it that they're already hurting already.
Yep.
So lesson learned: crazy eyes and bipolar. Got to stay away from that combo.
Well, I appreciate the call, man. Good luck out there.
See you, soldier boy.
Later.
Yeah, that does bite. Doesn't sound fun at all.
No, but just so you know, especially they're gone now, but all women are crazy. Just
Yeah, I think there are levels to this.
there are. There's crazy, even crazier, and bat crazy.
Mhm. Bat crap crazy?
Yeah. There's your 3 levels. I mean, what did Ari say about the 2 men who happened to be gay that were arguing?
Oh, yeah.
One of the-
Ari Matty, that's
Yeah.
a great comedic bit he did.
Said one of the best debates he ever heard.
Yeah, where you overhear somebody arguing next to you, and he goes, "It was 2 gay guys, and they both made sense."
Right. Unlike
Great
women,
joke.
Because if you start winning an argument with women, they're not going to let you win. They'll change the subject, or they'll start bringing something back, or a dream that I had that you cheated on me. That's going to happen. And when all else fails, they just lift their shirt and you forget what you're arguing about. So, yeah.
No, I love that Ari Matty bit. He's like, yeah, it was 2 gay guys, and they both made sense. Both superior logical minds sticking to the point, not bringing up old crap.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty good bit.
Why men don't win arguments with women. Yeah. Honest.
Well, why do we talk about the battle of the sexist stuff as soon as the woman leaves?
Because she's got long arms.
Yeah.
And I've got a feeling she's got a strong backhand.
Well, that's what's happening with a lot of women. And unfortunately, a lot of men too. Like just a lot of people are not in their right mind anymore these days. Like really are struggling. And I feel for folks, but
we blame it on the internet and things like that. But can you really blame that on the internet?
In some instances, maybe, but no. I think there's other factors
Because
going on
the
here.
extremes of the craziness.
Yeah, but sometimes, say if you're a lonely young man, you don't feel you feel a little off your rocker. There are other ways to channel it in a good way, like instead of drugs or alcohol or promiscuity, like just ridiculous like romps of sexual activity. Sports. But there's a different route because we've talked about the like least amount of sex, like a sexless society is Japan.
Right.
Like they're not collapsing. They've collapsed in terms of population
and birth rates.
And so if you're like a lonely young man who maybe doesn't feel right in mind, like what do you do in Japan? Do you get into baseball? They like that stuff there.
Baseball, history.
But like
anime.
You could do anime. Well, this guy used his craftsmanship skills, true craftsman, and he made this. I want you to be able to see this, Eddie.
All right.
So 1 second. I need to share it again and turn that towards you.
Okay.
And
okay.
That's like a subway, right?
Yes.
But there's something off about that subway.
The size of yeah.
Is that a cat?
It looks like the size of a small elephant.
Subway system for Cat Town, but it's finally open today. Mr. Nice will bring his cat family to be the first passengers. Hello, everyone. I'm Shing. Since I made the cat house 2 years ago, many people have left me messages asking if I could make a subway station for the cats. After thinking about it seriously for a while, there were 2 things I just couldn't figure out. One is after the train arrives in the station, how to open the train doors and the platform doors simultaneously.
By the way, if you're just listening, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like to the naked eye, before you see the cat, like that's a subway station.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
And secondly, how to make a working escalator. Earlier this year, I decided to stop thinking about it and just get started. I'll tackle the problems one by one as they come. Of course, I had the confidence that I could get through it no matter what. It took me 4 months to get it finished, but I got it finished. Every time we finish a new scene, the biggest headache is the final cleanup.
Yeah, because it's like these tiny crawl spaces to humans, but it's like the perfect proportion for cats.
It literally is a headache. This time for the subway station, it was much easier because we have a robot.
They have a robot?
Yeah, man. They had a robot.
Yeah, well, the robot
Okay,
seemed to crap
that
out.
was just a joke. The train with the cats is about to arrive. Let's go and welcome them.
They're just chilled out.
They love it.
Yeah, just riding around.
So, you know, if you're a lonely young man, actually looks like he's married and has a daughter.
Yeah.
But
that don't mean he ain't lonely.
True.
Welcome to Cattown Station. Please give way to alighting passengers before boarding.
And like right on cue, they all leave the train.
It's strange.
It's strange, but it's also impressive.
It's really cute, but it's
like the engineering of that is pretty amazing.
Man,
like the finishes, like it looks like
a
subway station, but it's for cats.
And it's for his cats, and it's in a Japanese apartment, so it can't go
right
anywhere.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you for your support and love. Please like and subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye.
I just wouldn't think there'd be. I mean, it's a great world we live in. Not everybody's the same.
I mean, how would you feel if somebody had to ask you, like, what's your son do for a living? And like, he makes model, like miniature versions of normal buildings for cats.
I'd have to come up with something else.
You couldn't say that? Yeah, he just made a subway that for the cats.
He does modeling.
Yeah, that's.
He works on a set.
You feel a little uncomfortable around these parts saying this is what my son does?
You know, I mean, people would ask a lot of questions, and I would feel uncomfortable with some of the answers.
Just saying, there are worse roads he could have gone down.
Sure, but
and at least there's like some talent and expertise, some skill there.
It's cool, but I can't help but think of the money wasted. You know, I mean, it's cool.
Not wasted. The cats love it.
The cats do seem to enjoy it,
and I'm sure he got millions of views on.
Yeah, I guess so. If he's doing that now.
Right. It looks like he's got a following. But what a weird,
that's so
weird
world. That's so weird that somebody not only had this idea, they went for it.
Yeah.
They've done it.
And did it beautifully.
Put it out
Didn't
there.
have
And people are like, wow, look at, I mean,
yeah.
That's shocking to me.
Now, while we're sticking on stupid cultural stuff and sticking to the whole battle of the sexes thing, apparently now, adding to the list, men aren't allowed to dress comfortably in the airport.
I disagree with this, but okay.
Let's listen in. This is some woman.
Whoa, man.
Great movie. Great movie by Mike Myers. So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yes.
Great movie. But yeah, this is this woman, and she's going to lay out her logic. New Ick Unlocked is apparently the title of this.
And here's a piece of advice. If you're a straight man at the airport, I want to see you in pants with some structural integrity. I don't want to see you in your comfies. That's not for you. I didn't sign up to leave the house and see you wearing joggers with a hole in it. Those things are for girls only. Please put on your jeans, khakis, J. Crew chinos. They're always on sale at the factory outlet. It's an epidemic and it's only getting worse.
Wait, I can't wear sweatpants if I'm going through the airport?
I swear I hate white women.
I've visited a lot of airports and it seems like as straight men, we're taking creative liberties that we don't need to be taking.
Well, I'm gay, bitch. Like what? That's my response to her. Like, I'm wearing my sweatpants.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I don't wear open-toed I don't wear like.
I do. Okay.
I don't wear like my sandals I'm wearing today at the airport.
One time we flew for Hyundai, so we had to meet everybody at the airport, and it was me and a couple of my bosses. I come in literally a pair of swim trunks and a T-shirt and my Crocs. Everybody else was dressed up in Hyundai gear. I was like, y'all are going to be held up in line. Yeah. You know, you got to take shoes off. I flew very comfortable.
Oh, no, you should have shoes you can take off real quick.
Yeah.
And I like the sweatpants because you don't have a belt.
No belt. That's what I'm trying to tell these guys. Like, you guys are going to get
especially
held
like
up.
joggers that have the zip pockets so stuff ain't falling out either.
Right.
And
it's a little common sense.
Right.
But it's fly comfortable because you're paying out the nose.
Right.
Everything
now,
there
you wear
is
shorts on the
inconvenient.
plane?
Yeah, man. Why? You worried about getting cold?
No, I just, if I didn't know you.
Yeah.
And I got this daddy long legs next to me showing off those pasty white calves.
Yeah, they are pretty
Plus,
much.
they're a little impressive and intimidating at that. Like, I got to sit next to you for 3 hours.
If I felt I was intimidating someone, I would get a blankie.
Let's see if she actually has a good point here.
Why do you need to be comfy? It's a sight for sore eyes. You guys want to wear the pants?
Isn't that a good thing? A sight for sore eyes?
I thought it was a good thing.
Yeah.
In society, so wear the pants everywhere in the airport. And if you can't dress appropriately, as my girl Kamala Harris says, do not come. Do not come.
Oh, gross.
Joe, you think she's married?
No.
Why would you?
Maybe once.
Maybe once. Yep.
No.
Still hadn't quite hadn't got over it yet, has she?
Mm-hmm. No, if she's doing a bit.
I kind of feel like that. If she's doing a bit, she is
That's great. The
great
bit's
actress.
fine.
Yeah.
The bit's fine.
But I don't.
You can do a bit.
I see too much passion in that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bit.
Well, I guess. And she made it very clear, only straight guys. So I guess if I'm wearing sweatpants at the airport, I am straight.
But that's stereotyping stuff. You're not supposed to do that, right?
Yeah, it's not right, but I got to survive. I don't want to be like criticized by this crazy-eyed bat.
You're going to be at an airport. Be comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be miserable.
Well, people watching is interesting at the airport.
I do enjoy that. I really do. That's why I don't mind getting to the airport early. I'm
hang out.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. See the fights that people are having, couples. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
not
so
bad.
wrong. That's so wrong.
It's not bad. And I do feel for especially the couples with young kids having to go through the airport and stuff. Oh my God. It's enough. Like, honestly, when it's just me, the last few trips I've done, it's just been me. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to account for children and my wife's extra stuff and all this other stuff.
I remember when Justin was little, it was, of course, not as many people flying then, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, you're right now. I know when we go to Jamaica and stuff, there's always families, and you can tell they're so worried the kids are going to act up on the plane. But knock on wood, for the most part, we never really had any issues with that.
272-9228. Excuse me.
28?
272-9228. Do you remember that story where a sheriff shot a Kentucky judge right after having lunch with him?
Yeah, Joey.
Did you hear the latest wrinkle in this?
Give me what you got. I've been kind of going down the rabbit hole, but you might have something I don't have.
Here it is. This is a woman who claims to have inside information. And the long and short of it is the judge was sleeping with female inmates in exchange for reduced sentences.
So normal, but I just want to make sure. Yeah. So the judge would have sex with inmates from the jail.
Yes.
And you saw it.
Yes. I was part of it. I was one of them.
Oh, damn, woman.
Not just from being in jail, but coming in off the street and seeing them. Yeah.
How did they keep it a secret?
It wasn't a secret. Wasn't a secret.
Why did you feel like you had to have sex with a judge?
Because he's the one with the power. He holds my entire life in his hands. He's the one that makes the decisions over whether I get to keep my children or not. He's the one that makes the decisions on whether I go to jail.
Did anything ever happen to you in the jail?
Yeah.
I mean, because you talk about having sex with the judge, but that was mostly when you were out, right?
Mhm.
Trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Did the judge ever say, you have to do this, or if you do this,
You come see me 3 times and we'll take care of this.
Some dark stuff happened.
Oh, yeah.
There, man. Daggum.
People. It's just people, Joey.
You never know. You'd like to expect more of a judge and a sheriff. But
Well, I don't know if you saw the video, but I saw the video when he shot him.
the video's playing in that clip.
Something. I don't know if that was something.
Because they've
got
known
that
each
guy
other
quickly.
They'd known each other for years.
Yeah.
They just had lunch together.
Something, and I've heard the rumors constantly. Maybe you have too about the guy's daughter, sheriff's daughter, being involved.
Maybe
young daughter, but no race.
No, it's the blowers again. I don't know what they're blowing out there, but they're blowing something and it's loud.
Huh?
This part of the program?
Yeah.
As the blower slowly
Fades.
walks away and fades into the background, but not fast enough.
No, of course not.
Brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
Oh, I got to get me some smokehouse.
Man, it's good eating over there.
Yeah, it is, Joey. I was dreaming the other day. Somebody put it in my head with the whole brisket and macaroni and cheese and kind of put them together.
Yeah.
I just, I cannot get that out of my
They
head.
do that there at Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
Yep.
And here's the deal. Chris and Celeste run the joint now. Yeah. Chris had been working there for a long time as the pit master.
Right.
And they are now the owners, and they had to ask permission from the original owners going back decades. Can we use your original recipe?
the recipe back.
They got
That's
that
right.
approval. They're back to the original recipes. And I tried that pulled pork sandwich you brought in the other day.
How'd you like
the
that, buddy?
Spicy.
Wasn't it good?
Oh, yeah, that was good. Spicy barbecue on it?
Yes.
Really tasty stuff. And that okra, I was worried about fried food traveling. It traveled beautifully.
Great, didn't it? I thought it would
Still
be a
was
little
crisp.
greasy and soggy, but no, it was still as crisp as it can be, man.
So good.
Yep.
Then, of course, don't forget about their breakfast. That
Amazing
for Southern
breakfasts.
breakfast.
Yep.
Open up at 6:30 in the morning, Tuesday through Sunday. They do this breakfast, and you have to try the cheese grits.
Yep.
At least stop by there, and I have in my travels. Not that many travels, but in my travels, Auburn to Nashville, all sorts of places. I visit family. They're like, we go to a breakfast spot, and they're like, try our cheese grits. I'm like, these suck.
They're not cheese grits. The kind of cheese grits you get at Smokehouse, you put your spoon in and the spoon stands up.
Yes. And it's also like a good thickness. Like
Yes.
there's so much flavor going on with that. The cheese, the
pepper
butter,
in
the
there.
cream. Maybe you get some bacon on the side or some Kaneka sausage.
That-
Or you're like, hey, give me some brisket. I'm putting it in the grits.
Why not? Why not, Joey?
Gum. I want to be there right now. Teleport over to Smokehouse Pit Barbecue just to get that. Y'all check them out today. Same location they've always been there, Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Weather service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you got a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Rich Thomas. Through the evening hours tonight, the rain chance is still very small with only isolated storms around, but another muggy night ahead with the overnight low temperature in the middle 70s. I think we're back to the mid-90s tomorrow with triple-digit heat indices once again, but rain chances slightly better tomorrow. Still random and not every town gets wet, but expect improving rain chances perhaps by Friday, Saturday, and I think by the weekend the temperatures come down a notch with the afternoon highs in the upper 80s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. Because when real estate problems cause you uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Give Rapid Fire Home Buyers a call today at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray. How you doing?
Well, I got to listen to y'all for a while there. I went to Tuscaloosa, Tallahassee, Montgomery, and home.
Wow, you're on the road, Bubba.
Are you still on that thing about race?
Nah, I mean, you can add to it, but we moved on to other things.
I mean, we all should move on from that, because if you really want to know what true problems are, go spend 3 months in Uganda.
There you go, Ray. There you
We
go.
don't have problems here. That's all manufactured, made up crap from the Democratic Party to keep us all divided.
You're here.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Would you say the Ugandans are, even though they have more troubles, maybe are happier people than a lot of us do?
And you talking about conservatives?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
They if they moved here, they would be far right.
Yep.
They would make the far right look like they were in the middle.
Make them blush.
I remember one time somebody went over. I was there and somebody killed a guard or somebody in the military. They literally got the first guy, killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Figured out they got the wrong guy. By the time they got the right guy, 3 people were dead.
Damn.
In one day. They didn't have a court, nothing.
Nope.
They just took them out back and shot them. That was the only crime I saw in 4 months when I was there.
Man. Well,
But you can walk down the street and never worry about a thing. It was completely safe except for that one little incident.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I've got a lot of really close friends that we had these conversations with, and they agree at the end of the day it's all made up.
Yeah.
Especially in the South. Everybody thinks we're a bunch of racists down here. But you can't hardly find them. I'm sure they're out there.
They're out there, but if you break your neck, go looking for it, yeah, you'll find anything. But I find more people come down from up north and go, I thought I was told this was going to happen in the South. Nothing
Right.
like I was told.
Well, and then you also get the thing like somebody told a racist joke, so they're a racist, obviously. And you're like, really?
Yeah, you get that. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's right. But it's like high school. You hang out with people you like.
Yeah.
And so that's probably why I got rose-colored glasses on, because I hang out with people like me and I don't think about it.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I don't, but anyway, if y'all need a floor, call us, 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free estimate. next thing you know, you got a floor down just that quick.
Again, the number 285-8117, and be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, have a great day.
You too, Ray. See you, brother.
Did we learn anything today?
Yeah, a few things.
Learned a few things. Why did you want me to retell the Lady of the Evening story?
I wanted Hannah to know you on that level because,
yeah,
for whatever reason, the day you told that story, I got to know a different Joey, and it seemed to open up a little bit. I got to know you a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Yeah, and I knew she'd appreciate it. It humanizes you a lot. That's all. It's a good thing, though.
Cool. Thank you for requesting to plumb the depths of me.
Oh, next we're going to talk about the that CIA girl that was supposed to you were supposed to meet when you were down there with the judge.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
That was a good one.
I forgot about Ileana.
Yes,
because I was either a vehement anti-Semite or an FBI or some intelligence.
I would like to have Hannah's take on it, or just a few females' takes on it, because we both as guys could be completely misreading it. I don't think we are.
Oh, no, she was going on about some documentary films, and I'm like, that's straight up wrong. You're just wrong. But I'm like, I can fix her. I think I could convert her to Judaism, in fact. If you give me enough time.
I can convert her.
Yeah, and I'm not even Jewish. I think I can make it work.
Good luck with that, Joe.
No, we danced. She got me to dance to a live salsa band. I was smitten.
Well, yeah, but your smarter part of your head took over, and you said, you know what, there's something not right. We must go our separate ways.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway. You want to get out of here?
I'm ready to go.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah, what's tomorrow? Thursday?
Thursday.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. On that note.
Always be closing.
Right.
Always be closing.
Happy Hour with Greg Budell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM.